discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on the Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, and when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. I just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
done, so let's do it a little by a little. Rise from your sleepless slumber. Yes, 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 yes. We're more than sand and the seashore. We're more than number. All together now. Wake up and live. Wake up and live now. You see one cocoa full of basket. Already you still live big today. Tomorrow you're buried in the casket. One cocoa full of basket. Yeah, yes. Already you still live big today. Tomorrow you're buried in a casket. Walk together now. Wake up and live there. Wake up and live. Keep on playing. Yeah, yeah. Break it down. Come on now. How's the feeling over there? Everybody feeling all right? Yeah, 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 yeah. Come on now. You gotta wake up and live. Life is one big road with lots of signs. Yes. So when you're riding through the ruts, don't you complicate your mind. Flee from hate, mischief and jealousy. Don't bury your dog, put your dream to reality. Yeah. All together now. Wake up and live. Yeah. You say, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright sunshiny day. Oh yes, I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for.
Listen to the angels, rejoicing e'er so sweetly, receiving heaven's glory, the night that Christ was born.
Listen to the angels, rejoicing e'er so sweetly, receiving heaven's glory. The night that Christ was born. Can't you see the people
Coming from every nation, pleading for their salvation. The night that Christ. was born. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. The night that Christ was born. Listen.
Listen to the angels, rejoicing and so sweetly, receiving heaven's glory, the night that Christ was born. Can't you see the people coming from every nation, pleading for salvation, the night that Christ was born.
Sing. Listen. Oh. Hallelujah.
And my heart be made anew.
Listen.
Listen to the trumpet
Shouting to the darkness.
shouting through the darkness,
Crying, holy, the night that Christ was born. Let's say it again. Oh, such a wonder. Listen.
shouting through the darkness, crying, holy, holy, the night that Christ was born.
Such a sacrifice. Such a precious gift. And
my heart be made anew.
listen.
Listen to the trumpet shouting through the darkness.
Now behold our Savior.
Now behold the Savior, the night that Christ was born.
Thank you for giving us your child.
The night that Christ was born.
Born in a manger, meek and mild,
The night that Christ was born.
giving to us perfect sacrifice.
The night that Christ was
Don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own, more than you could
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection, coming to you live from the lovely Ligani Club, where we are all dressed up for World Cup and for Christmas. Today is far.
But the Lord will remain and sit enthroned forever. Lord will remain and sit enthroned forever. As we celebrate as we celebrate neighbors to the north,
Yes.
we give God thanks for you. Know that in the things that God has given to your nation, you have a responsibility to act rightly in regards to everything, the things that you do as you go forward.
Yes. I want to share what is happening
This morning,
at JD's Urban Pub
today,
today. Yes, because they are having a graceful Thanksgiving feast. Starting off with a cream of pumpkin soup. I know, talking about food so early in the morning, but this week I have to do it.
you want to get hungry?
Accompanied by a chopped salad. There will be butter roasted turkey with cranberry sauce, cognac beef and mushroom juice, Creole shrimp, brown sugar, and Dijon glazed pork loin. This
All
is
of that
a warm up for
You
Christmas.
can't eat all of that one time.
Candied mixed potatoes with marshmallows, red beans and rice.
Yeah, that's
Good
red
old
beans.
rice and peas.
Red beans and rice. That's what they call.
A 3-cheese macaroni pie. And remember, it's not 3 macaroni pies, as Lowell said last week. It's 3 cheeses. Cornbread stuffing with your turkey. Seasonal vegetable medley. A trio of pies. There'll be apple pie, pecan pie, and pumpkin pie. And a complimentary glass of wine. All for the princely sum of 6,900 Jamaican dollars. I think that plus means plus tax. Perhaps you can reserve your table on Instagram at JDS_urban_pub. And takeaway is available. This is not takeaway after you've eaten. You can just order takeaway. It's quite the feast. I mean, I look at it and I think Lowell could eat here.
Lowell could eat?
Yes, the turkey, only one thing he could eat.
I'm going to eat pork.
Doesn't eat shrimp, doesn't eat pork. Could have mac and cheese, vegetables.
How can I eat in that, my Bridget? You can't miss
So-
wonderful pork.
That's what I say too.
Wonderful pork.
That's what I say
You eat
too.
up all the pork, Francis.
I do my best.
You do
Most
your
times
best to eat
I
up
can.
all of the pork.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, if we're doing something, I'll say, I'll say, can I have his bacon, please? But then there's a limit.
Oh, no. So
When we were in-
JD's Pubs and we're at the Ligani Club.
And
this
yes.
Ligani Club today.
And what a bright, sunshiny morning. Look at it. It is like the best kind of gold. It's just
Sunshine.
a real beautiful morning. And
It's
we,
a beautiful day.
and we still have our Christmas lights on. Maybe we should plug them out and be conservators.
But even
of
as we're here,
electricity.
so look at this now. So we have all these flags. So Argentina is last. This is Cameroon. Is Cameroon? Cameroon is a producer.
I don't know.
I know this is England and there's Brazil. This is Cameroon. And Cameroon playing this morning as we speak. The game must almost finished now.
All right. So I have the thumbs up from the various persons who had a sound issue
So that it's working now.
on YouTube. It's working now. I'm so happy. I was spending way more time on it than I should. I know the
And we
producer
come up to
kept
our
telling
7
me.
o'clock break. It is our 7 o'clock break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. All right. All right. So when we get back, we will conclude our comments on Thanksgiving and get into the morning's proceeding.
We'll be right back.
All right, let's see. Spatula, check. Knife, check. Recipe, check. Bottle of Grandma Elsie's sauce, check. All right, but good then. The only thing left to do is decide what to wear with this yellow apron.
What are you doing in here?
Coming like God sent you in here. What you think? This shirt with the hat, or you think this one look better?
Seriously, Michael, you go out and not tell me?
I was going to tell you, that my recipe made it to the cook-off.
Watch out!
So, Grandma Elsie sauce did the trick.
Look here, I cannot believe it right now. You serious?
Me I tell you. So, that's why I want to look the part, real chef.
Okay.
Check out my apron with the logo. Michael, tilapia specialist. It'll go on, not true?
Look here. Some things never change today, you know. Say for yourself, though. You know, say for yourself, though.
If them having celebrity judge, I must ensure I'm up to standard. Don't worry, you will get the first autograph and maybe a selfie for the gram when we win.
Yeah, sure about that? Because I was just about to show you my outfit for the cook-off. So think again if you think you alone going there, sir.
Oh, so
Sir.
you're keeping secrets. Me not like how you stay.
I was going to tell you that we have a special date together on November 25 for Eat Jamaica Day at Devon House, but it never met me finish. It never met me get there.
Well, if you think you're going to beat me now, you have another thing coming because I've been practicing some things for entertain the crowd.
But look at you now. It's cook you're going to cook, not sing. It's not a competition of his singing, sir.
Look here, the smell of the fish alone going to shut down Devon House when crowd draw my spot here. National Fisheries Authority better bring extra fish because all the security are going to want to sample my winning dish when me finish.
Look here, me now listen to you and your tricks and your gimmicks, because I have something special in store. Because when the people get around my station, the judges have to give me the winnings because I have the presentation thing locked down pat. Plus a little extra for wash it up. Look here, I'm full of style and fashion and you cannot follow me.
Them are going to need the juice after them finish that the fish there because them are going to wonder how you make it to the final round.
You see you?
Don't feel too bad, At least you make it to the top 5. Don't tell nobody you come dead last door.
Look here. Suppose I tell you that I can finally buy you the new phone you wanted with the prize money. When I win. Sound like a plan, right?
You know, that's a good idea. Make sure you remember the one you wanted so I can add it to my list because I have to treat my darling out of my winnings.
I cannot believe you. You say me keep secret. Look on you to know.
Well, I believe there's nothing there to stop me when I marinate the tilapia with Grandma Elsie's special sauce on November 25 because Devon House I got locked down at the cook-off. Better them give me my trophy from now.
What that's in the bag?
Oh, I printed a junior chef apron for the children, and I have a special one for you.
Watch comedian now. Watch jokes now. What wait, watch match my outfit. I look so bad. Anyway, all I know say me I beat you, yeah? Me I beat you.
Miss, your total is 8,900. Cash or card?
Do you take credit cards?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Here. And here's my ID.
All right, just stay here for a minute. The machine is right over there, so.
Stay where? Try not say anywhere you go with my card. Me I go too. You go on. Me I follow right back at you.
When shopping, never let your debit or credit card out of your sight. Your information can be stolen in a split second. Protect your card. Protect your cash. A safety message from the JIS. Are you a health and wellness enthusiast or business owner? Then join us at the Montego Bay Convention Center in St. James on November 24 and 25 from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for the 4th Jamaica Health and Wellness Tourism Conference. For more information, visit wellnessinja.com or our social media pages at TEF Jamaica. That's the Jamaica Health and Wellness Tourism Conference, brought to you by the Tourism Linkages Network, a department of the Tourism Enhancement Fund.
No man, watch the pile of rubbish in the public space. People nasty, Hold on there.
Sandra, where you stop for?
Look here, me have to take a picture and send to NSWMA. You never hear about the app where you can use to report illegal dumping and littering?
Now what you say to me?
Yeah man, you can call them or download the app from the Apple or Google Play Store.
Why me have to go download the app because enough littering me see in this here town here.
Report littering or illegal dumping in public spaces to the National Solid Waste Management Authority. Call 876-448-3220 or download the NSWMA app to report illegal dumping and littering.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
We're ever ready to assist you before, during, and after a disaster. Hurricanes can happen, so be prepared.
Do we love Jamaica? Do we love our children?
If we must grow up in Jamaica, if we must grow up in the island of land, wood, and water, we must promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood, and peace, to serve diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, so that Jamaica may, under God, increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity, and play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, at 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling her, cause trust me.
Waiters, Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
Call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Vejan Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Vejan Printers, your best choice in printing.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats. Best FM.
We're ever ready to assist you before, during, and after a disaster. Hurricanes can happen, so be prepared.
Do we love Jamaica? Do we love our children? If we must grow up in Jamaica, if we must grow
Some money. But where we are now says, I think we have wide listenership in us. Then we went down off air earlier in the week and we're getting Westmoreland, Hanover.
That is definitely a double-edged sword.
Yeah, no.
To encourage an investor by saying, our service failed.
It's failed, but no, we recognize the coverage is wide.
He needs marketing tips.
I'm saying the coverage is just
oh
wide.
Lord, have mercy on us.
Within the widespread,
No, that is not the way to sell the program. Please, Percy.
I said we cover it, but that one didn't have the coverage that we have. It's just conversation. But
yeah.
So it is.
Yeah.
But
sometimes you gotta support something because in your spirit you recognize that it is doing a good job, and it will grow with your support.
Yeah.
You don't always have to be the one who comes in after the support is established. You can be one of those who
One of the
support it
innovators.
and give it a chance to grow. We're going to have a guest with us this morning, or only guest of the morning, actually, Professor Paul Golding, who is a great friend of the show. I must tell you that there is no occasion on which we need to have an expert on technology or on just commentary on modern happenings in the world of business, and he does not accommodate us. Professor Golding has published a book. It's not his first publication, and most of you who like his work would have enjoyed his writings in the local newspapers. For years, he has been doing that. He is one of the, I'm going to say, tenured professors at the University of Technology.
Yeah,
His
people
book
understand
launch,
what that means, though? It become tenured.
you will explain it to them. Today, he's like a civil servant on fire rebel. But no, when he comes, we look forward to hearing from him. He has written on the first 21 years of the 21st century. Knowing how Paul mind works, you can see that book wrote itself.
21 years.
Yes, the first 21 years of the 21st century. It's just a brilliant, very intriguing subject matter. This book contains a commentary on significant technological, financial, and socio-political issues that shaped the first 21 years of the 21st century. Clearly, it's a retrospective look. Even to say that it shaped it is very retrospective. Because it would, no doubt, the things that happened would shape our perspective on those first 21 years. And what is going to be absolutely fascinating for me when he comes is to hear what he thinks those first 21 years mean for the next 21 years, or even for the next 5 years. Lord knows. Where technology is concerned, things have moved so fast that it's very presumptuous of anyone to think that they could see further than the next 12 months.
Yeah, but I
look forward to that conversation with Professor Golding.
I have interacted with Professor Golding in other aspects. Met him on the program, met him in other circumstances, which were not the best, but I discovered in those other circumstances that he's an innovator. Years when, as an organization, we had struggled in regards to as a, you know that my daughter is deaf and hard of hearing, and we're trying to make innovation.
So you say?
Yes. So no, she is. When she want to be faced, you say, I'm not hearing you. You say, I'm not hearing you, Daddy. Me say, no, it's convenient no for you to tell me that. But that's all right. But I'm still speaking to you. But anyway, but he, through his own influence, caused for Jamaica Association of the Deaf to enter into partnership where we had interns come in and work with us. And then it became something where at University of Technology, they have a course that they can learn sign language. So, yeah, man. So a lot of the people in one faculty, like I think it's the education, is graduating, being proficient at the basic level in terms of sign language.
So you're saying he's not only an excellent educator, he's a great person too.
He's a great person, great individual, you know. And
all right,
his own.
He's visited with us a few times.
Yeah.
I know he used to play squash. I'll tease him about that. Lowell says he thinks he still plays.
So you take a squash court?
Oh yes, and a program too.
Where is it? Where is it?
I can't tell you
where exactly
precisely.
The court?
Somewhere at the back, near around by the basketball court.
That's a recent innovation, or
no. They've been there for
like 20 years
at least. What do you know about UTech? Did you study there?
No, but I was very
Wow.
much involved in there, like when we were putting up the gym and Dr. Alfred Sang said somebody have
You
to
mean
break
like 30 years ago, 40 years ago?
it. Yeah. That's why I'm asking you how long. You never know. Remember they was building the new gym and the basketball court. And we have those.
When you were a student that you used to be over there a lot?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Nice, lovely young ladies.
Yeah, well, that was replaced by a gym.
Was it? The girls were replaced by a gym.
And a squash court.
Oh, I just wanted
No,
to know
but,
where it's at. I know about the new gymnasium, which was there, but I never knew they had a squash court. That's what I asked how long, you know.
All right, let us not reduce the show to keeping up with Percy. Right, so Professor Golding's book launch is this afternoon, Thursday, November 24th, 2022 at 5 p.m. It's going to be at UTech naturally. It's published by the University of Technology Jamaica Press. So should you be in the market for those kind of services, University of Technology has a functioning press. And
UWI Canute Press.
no, we're not talking about UWI own. We're talking about UTech own. University of Technology Jamaica.
They've come off
Press.
age. Yeah, I understand that.
Press.
I'm just commenting on
And
the fact that
the book launch will be live streamed on YouTube. And Professor Golding is going to be with us at 8 o'clock, is it? At 8:30 this morning. And if we are lucky, he will give us a little excerpt from his book.
If we are lucky, we'll get a book from him.
Well, that's just greedy.
That's
That's not
no
love.
wrong accent.
And yeah, what is at 5 o'clock, my dear? Oh yes, the
You
launch
said
is
the
at 5
launch.
o'clock. Yeah, man. You can join them online. They're gonna live stream on YouTube. And anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing Professor Golding. In recent times, he became a widower. Oh, such an old-fashioned word.
What else? You have a new word for it?
No, isn't it old-fashioned? We need a new word.
Doesn't mean if you were saying they're widower. So I'm
Yeah.
just wondering, is there another way of describing somebody who has lost, a male who has lost his wife?
You just did it.
What's that?
You described it. A male
that
was
was
lost his
not
wife.
I think I'm going to
But
become
words like widower and bachelorette and widow are mired in
or
time.
Spencer.
Or that one is okay. Isn't that an old-fashioned
That's
word?
old one. The one you were writing the book here, the old
Well,
Spencer.
Yeah, well,
Spencer, yes,
well,
you see it.
spinster has been replaced by bachelorette.
It is.
That's more recent vintage
But
than
you know,
spinster.
when we are writing up the Margaret stuff, we don't say bachelorette. We still have to write spinster.
You can't just write single woman.
No. Then I say, what is that? Because there are certain terms, and a certain term like, no, you take it as a joke. But
Yes.
if somebody comes in and they're giving you the notice information to write up the notice for the banks,
Yes.
you have
yes,
to
yes,
ask them in terms of, okay, you're calling, but the calling is what you do. for
Occupation.
Right?
Yeah.
And you have to be very specific, you know. You can't just write any old thing. If the person tell you that they are a domestic helper,
Yeah.
that is not into the international thing. You have to say they do home duties or home care. They're very
So there's
specific.
an international lexicon.
Yes, that you have to use, that they refer to.
All right. So you know how last week we were talking about the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights and how in this effort to end discrimination and gender biases and so on, there is an element where you clean up your language to remove racial distortions and I'm going to use another old-fashioned word, but pejorative words of pejorative meaning.
What that means?
It is insulting and
that's what that means.
yes,
Okay.
pejorative. That's a very old-fashioned word. But you know, words that convey bad impression, negative impressions, and don't add value. Like there's an argument you make in law about certain arguments. You would say that it is prejudicial, or it is it causes prejudice without adding any value.
Okay.
So something can be prejudicial, but it adds value.
So like what? Give me something that is prejudicial and adds value.
Like
I'm saying you're a woman?
No, I could tell a story about you, which is prejudicial because it casts you in a bad light,
In a certain way,
but
yeah.
it adds value because your integrity is at issue
Okay.
in
So
whatever the proceeding is.
So that means like somebody could write a story in the paper,
Mm-hmm.
and then I could sue them because how the story was written, it cast me in a bad light and
Yes.
more, so it's not true.
And it,
You
yeah,
sue
well,
them for libel.
you can sue them, right? Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Did that happen?
Not yet. When I
Good.
do that, I'll
Yeah.
share when I sue them. I'll share
It's
it
good.
with.
It's good to be prepared.
Yeah.
But words like spinster should be taken out of that lexicon of.
And put in
because-
bachelorette.
Because why can't you just say unmarried? Never married. Bachelorette is good because the bachelor, and you know what the et is. Anyway,
That's
it is
interesting.
free flowing. It's free flowing Thursday, so
But it's
we are
educational.
allowed to.
No, that is very educational.
We are
for me.
allowed to float around.
Me not float around. That is a ghost. Casper the ghost. At ages, you know, remember
Yeah.
Casper the friendly ghost?
Yes, I do remember the friendly ghost. And you know, I got a video from a friend.
Yes.
It is of a lady in Trinidad who is doing. Have you seen it?
No.
All right. She's speaking about a Satan club,
Okay.
which is a science club for children that is being introduced allegedly somewhere in the United States.
Satan Club.
Yes, I have the video. I can.
Which is
and
of a science club.
Yes.
It's a
And
science
it's
club,
saying
it's a
Satan is not an evil guy. Satan just wants you to learn. It pulls from what the serpent said in the garden.
Oh, okay. So there's nothing new under the sun.
Not a single thing new under the sun. And that's been said also, that there's nothing new under the sun.
Oh, you said that.
So it pulls from
Wise man said
it pulls from what Satan said in the garden, that when God told them, don't eat the fruit or you will die, he said, you will not surely die. You will discover knowledge that will show you the difference between good and evil. And then you will become like gods.
Yeah, that's a lie that has been
That's right. But is it really a lie? Because hasn't man uncovered knowledge that has made him feel like he's God in the world of science and technology and
running
medicine?
ahead and says
And
transhumanism and
absolutely,
human 2.0.
and he can give life or take life and so on and so forth. So, you know, in the way of, if you look at it strictly, I'm gonna say something that you're likely to contradict and write me out of your will. Satan.
Never will.
Satan. And I'm in it.
In the first instance.
Yeah. What Satan said about man's discovery of knowledge and the result it would have was not a lie, you know. Because it is true that as man uncovers more of the mysteries of the universe, his sense of power and control increase. And he does feel and behave like a god.
That's what he believes, yeah.
Yeah, so it's true.
Yeah, in that
The
sense,
lie, the lie Satan told was
has
that
become a true.
was
become
that
true.
this was something that God was hiding from man. When I think about it soberly, I realize that Satan's deception was about the character of God, not about the reality of knowledge, the pursuit of knowledge, the use of knowledge, and the impact that it would have on the human psyche. Those were truths because we see it being lived out every day. Satan's deception is always about the character of God, that God is not who he says he is, that his promises are not true, that you are not worthy of his love, that isn't it so? He's always seeking to
tell you that
destroy
lie.
our faith in God.
Because remember, faith is based on the knowledge of who God
Of
is.
who God is. Yes.
You know that, right?
I know that.
You understand that?
I
For that reason,
understand
I
that.
bring it back into my will.
Yeah. Oh, you will now write a will.
I write a will already.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is true that man's pursuit of knowledge enlarges our own ego and
ego. That's
concept
important.
of self and power,
Mhm.
and creates greater separation between us and God, because we now think we can replace God, just as Satan himself did when he started his great rebellion. So he didn't lie about that. The death, which he lied about,
You never tell about the death part. Eh?
the death
Yeah,
part,
the separation.
the separation from God is death.
Is what causes death.
Yes.
That's what where the real death
That's
is.
the real death.
Because in being separated from God, what you have done, you have come from your life source.
You unhook yourself from the life source.
The life source.
And no, yeah.
So
And
that is what happens.
that's the great deception.
Yeah.
So this club now is a science club, which is selling the same goods from the Garden of Eden. That
Nothing new under the sun. Same methodology.
yeah,
used.
that this pursuit of knowledge is to give you the freedom to explore and to control your environment and to uncover deep mysteries. And Satan is not an evil guy. Satan just wants you to know, to have knowledge. And you're to come and explore. And it has a very catchy, I'm going to share it with you off air. It has a very catchy jingle and
using them same tactics, music.
music, yes, seducing us. All right, so this Trinidadian lady was talking about it. I got the video from a friend speaking about it, and looking at the extent to which man is moving away from the source and using every kind of strategy to get
more and more people to move
and get them as young as possible. So, appealing to the children now with the catchy jingle and this belief that the gods of the day, science and technology, are equal to the creator God who continues to be sovereign.
And you say that, and if you look through the ages and reflect on what has happened, okay, some people have said that religion is what has pushed man away
from God.
From God. Some people have contended that in terms of somehow some of it is practice.
Yeah.
And
I'm one of those persons
who
contend that man's rituals and religiosity has caused a separation.
Because that's not how God intended it to be, because it was always about relationship. Remember?
Yes.
It has always been about relationship, which is why the person of Jesus Christ is so important, because what he did was to reestablish relationship that you could, because of what he did in terms of the ultimate, can be in relationship one-on-one with God, which is what he intended. Yeah. When you look at the example of the children of Israel, and when God wanted to speak to them, and they said, all right, make one man do it, we're afraid of you. And him said, no, but that was it. They say, all right. So that never worked when I wanted to speak to you, because they were the example. And he comes back, says, okay, you the prophets and that now work. So I'm going to bring myself down, so I'm going to show you what my heart is for you. That's what Jesus was about. He says, everything I do is what the Father is about,
Yep.
And the worship is about spirit and in truth. So that is what religion has done. And it will continue to do in the end, When you read the book in the end, there's going to be one religion.
All right, we're at 7:31. Are we taking our 7:30 break? All right, it's 7:31. Let's take the station break. When we come back, I want to just conclude my Thanksgiving. I'm going to invite Pastor Percival to make his list of things that we are thankful for. And I'm going to share a scripture with you, which came from my cousin in New York. I say Thanksgiving greetings to my cousin Lloyd, who is probably the one of many pastors in my family. Certainly one I remember quite fondly. And he has a cousin of mine in New York, and he has shared a scripture with me, which I'm going to share with you when we get back from our break.
Do we love Jamaica? Do we love our children? If we must grow up in Jamaica, if we must grow up in the island of land, wood, and water, we must promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood, and peace, to serve diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, so that Jamaica may, under God, increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity, and play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race.
There will be days when you're too tired to move, to drive, but you think you have to, because your vehicle won't wash itself, right? But no, you don't have to visit a car wash. 123 Mobile Car Wash will come straight to you. Yes, you heard right. 123 Mobile Car Wash is offering services in Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine. We shampoo and detail cars, trucks, offices, and more. No job too small. Call us at 876-631-3400. 123 Mobile Car Wash. We come to you.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
It's the Faith in Action Hour on Best FM-100 every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. with your host, Bishop Stephen Harper. Don't you forget it, every Saturday, 4 to 5 p.m. on Best FM-100, sponsored by Music Town Entertainment and Valwell's Juice. Faith in Action Hour every Saturday, 4 to 5 p.m. on Best FM.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats. Bess FM.
one more.
Good morning and welcome back. I did tell you I have a scripture for you, courtesy of my cousin Lloyd Hopkins in New York.
Yep,
Lloyd
him,
is
him
Hopkins. Yeah.
Hopkins?
You have family name Hopkins too?
No, it's not new. That's a new one. Hopkins.
You've never heard the name?
I know of Hoskins, but not Hopkins in Jamaica.
Really? And I thought you were a man of knowledge.
Never. Hey, Bridget.
You never know. You fooled me. You had me fooled.
Lord. That's why, boy, the word of God says love covers a multitude of sins.
I tell you, it's a good thing I love you. I can forgive you.
Multitude of sins, but even as you go ahead and
Yes.
share. But,
Philippians 4. I loved it because of, you'll hear the word that drew my attention. Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near.
Very, very near.
Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving.
Prayer and petition. So you pray, and then you thank God for what you prayed about, saying that it's going to become a reality in your
With
situation.
thanksgiving, present your request to God. There are two things about the reference to thanksgiving here that I like, and Pastor just highlighted one of them. It is that the thanksgiving you are expressing is for the thing you've just prayed about.
And that's faith, really.
And that is faith. Believing it to be done, you start to give thanks. Which means that today, those who are celebrating Thanksgiving across the world, they are doing two things. They're thanking for what has been, and they are thanking for what is to come based on the urgencies of the day, the needs of the day. And I think that is a very inspiring context in which to go forth and have a big meal later today. By doing so, you are thanking God. I know it is quite the tradition as before you consume your Thanksgiving feast to acknowledge the things for which you are thankful. But there is certainly great merit in putting the things that would cause you anxiety, putting them to God in prayer and petition. And it is entirely in keeping with the origin of Thanksgiving, considering the words of the proclamation by Abraham Lincoln, who said, you are now to ask God, entreat God to take special care of those who have suffered losses, setbacks, tribulations, who have special needs, the widows, the orphans, the distressed, the suffering, the sick, the injured, to take a special care of them during this particular season. It is a season that never ends, I think, the one of thankfulness. But when you give, when you pay close attention to it, I think it has weight and value. And it certainly has weight and value in your own consciousness.
It does,
and your community. And when the whole nation is giving thanks and putting their petitions to the God who creates and who nurtures and who provides, wow, that can certainly shift things.
And it's there's another verse you're going to read, right?
No, that was it. You want me to read the other one? Whatsoever is neighbor. Finally, brothers and sisters.
Yes, it is.
Very politically correct. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Whatever you have learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put it into practice, and the God of peace will be with you.
In everything.
Well, in everything isn't there, but
yeah, but
you're adding that.
Yeah, but it does, because in every situation you say another verse, then in everything give thanks. That's something. You know, it is easy to give thanks. When you pray for $1 million seed come, when you're praying not come, you still give thanks. And I just want to burst into Thanksgiving with some colleagues of mine who today are going to be graduating.
You know you're gonna have to burst.
Yeah.
So I'm moving away and I'm watching to see Pastor burst into thanksgiving.
Hallelujah. Some people are saying, hallelujah. We have come to the end of this journey. I'm talking about my colleagues who are in the master's program in counseling and consulting at the International University of the Caribbean. For a lot of them, it has been a real journey, but I know they are giving thanks that we've come to the end. I'll give thanks at the end of this year because I'd hope to be giving thanks to you. And you know what is so fascinating? We talk every single day because there are some things we do together in group, and I've never met these persons in person.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's been completely online?
It's been completely online.
Even when you are scolding and lecturing your group?
Yes. It's completely online. And so they said to me, you know, even though you have decided that because you have some outstand, 1 or 2 courses outside, you have to come because you have helped us, you have cajoled us, you've pushed us. So I'm looking forward later today just to go and rejoice with them.
That's why you shave up and pretty up yourself. Oh my goodness.
You never see smoke without fire, you know. So that is
so when I said pastoral duties, I could see you. You gave me a look. So it's not pastoral duties. It's very earthly and unspiritual.
I'm waiting on Saturday. So I'm going to look good for the people.
No, by Saturday you're going to be overgrown again.
You think
Don't
so?
try to fool me with that one. These are all the online people who you want to see you at your best. I don't blame you.
Don't say so.
But all you need to do is smile for them, and that will be it.
Because you've been in a group and we're doing work.
But no, Pastor, you have to explain yourself. I cannot let even one listener who remember how for the whole year you've been studying and working hard. Now you're missing your graduation. Why are you missing your graduation?
Because of the schedule of some of the courses. Like one of the courses we're doing presently, we needed to do a mini research. And
that's not completed.
It's not completed.
So it's not that you failed.
No, man, not failed, not man. No, sir, my wife beat me.
Or in punishment.
No, my wife beat me.
I am just making it clear.
No, man, because the courses were not. The timing of it would not have allowed us. But
so it's not just you, it's a few of you?
A few of us. It's a few of us who are in that
little group.
Yeah, but we're working hard.
You call it predicament. Are these the married people who went into school with young people?
That too, because the group is a mixed one. It's a mixed one. The married people and the old people who work in it. But it is. Oh, yeah.
That is what happened. No, but I echo your congratulations to the group.
Yeah,
the pursuit of higher learning is, of course, a very noble thing. Whatsoever is noble, think on it. And the area of study is also one that promises to be very beneficial to society.
It is.
Right now, you see world over, Jamaica no different, the focus on mental health and the care that we need to give at all levels is something that preoccupies us. So more professionals in the field
are needed.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing at all.
Yes,
and I know that your style of study and the way you give service is a credit to the kingdom of God as well. So congratulations to your group.
Yeah, man.
And when your day comes,
it will come. Before it knows,
you will be
always
like,
be rejoicing.
I remember I remember listening to Bishop T.D. Jakes give a sermon about when the women of faith, the great women in the Bible, are being called to receive their crown. Oh, some names will be called and they will walk on stage with great. I have to dramatize it. He says, you remember Dorcas?
Yes, Dorcas, yes.
Dorcas the saint.
Yes.
He says when they said Dorcas, she will walk up stately and with great reserve and dignity, and she'll go forward and receive her crown. They'll call some names. Mary, the mother of Jesus. Oh, Lord, no saint bigger than she. And he calls some other names. But when they get to, what is her name now? The mother of Solomon.
Oh, Bathsheba.
Bathsheba. He says when they get to Bathsheba, Bathsheba will be singing and dancing and spinning and bowing and dipping and saying, oh, Lord, how did I get into this fine company of women? And I figured that they would say Rahab too.
Yeah, Rahab. Yeah,
When
because
they say- and they're probably gonna say Rahab the prostitute. When she go up for her crowd, it's gonna be a different kind of. So, so sorry, Percy, but when they say Percival Palmer, there'll be cartwheels.
You know the thing. Kid Pupalik.
Yes.
I'm gonna say that Jamaica. Kid Pupalik can say finally.
Yeah,
Finally we get there.
No man, you'll probably have a mentor band accompanying to go and collect your papers.
No, but you know, it's been
be
rough.
Special. Me know, me see. Oh dear Jesus.
It's been
How
rough.
many times Percy drop asleep on the set because he was in just wake up having studied all night.
No, it's been rough, but we give God thanks and for His
absolutely.
provision,
Yeah.
even in terms of doing it. And I could share stories. Like I remember one time I needed to pay my school fee. I paid by the modules, and I said, "Boy, I need to do this." You know? I said, "Nah, I beg nobody." Not asking anybody for it because I'm saying you are Jehovah Jireh. You need to provide it. And what happens? There was somebody that I'd work with. She come and say, you know, she has a daycare and stuff, and she said every time I'm doing something, you have to come and pray.
Yeah.
So I go and pray, and she called me out of the blue. That is one, I think, a Friday or one of the days after I did the program. She called me and said, you know, we're doing something, but you need to come and pray because we're doing this thing. I went up with no expectation, and we prayed and things. And she said to me afterwards, can you give me your bank account? I said, okay. But she had two numbers. I said, she insisted, you don't send anything to me. And you know what happened? I gave it to her, and then bing, deposited the school fee. I never told her anything about it.
Wow.
She just deposited the school. Yes? Yes, she deposited.
Well, you need to go and pray.
Yeah. She deposited, and I just immediately just transferred it from her and saying, God, you are good, you are great, you are awesome. Yeah.
And do you love it how we blessed you through a woman?
Yes. Yeah,
Many blessings come through women.
Yeah, but and God
and men too.
instant, you know.
Yeah.
But God has been good. God has
So,
been the way.
all right, you have trumped me with things I'm thankful for.
Yeah.
When you describe the things you are thankful for, which you are thankful, that one, how would you characterize it? Would you say that would you say you're thankful that God is faithful as a provider, or would you be thankful for this lady's obedience?
Both of them.
All right.
Yeah, it's the provider, but because a lot of the time we're sitting there and God is in our conscience just bringing somebody face to your mind and say they need to pray. Oh, but let me tell you what happened yesterday. I'm in the office and somebody called me and said, "You're in the office?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "All right." And she comes in the office and she puts an envelope on the desk. And she said to me,
"She bribed you?"
No, she didn't bribe me. She didn't bribe me. She came and she said, "I just saw your face."
Oh.
That's when you say that. That's
Yes,
what brings it back. I just saw your face.
Yes.
And she says, "This is for you."
Yes.
Just like that.
Will it pay for your glasses?
Halfway. No, but other men have been.
I think that's beautiful. I think that is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, but God has been faithful because you know my story. But we don't know the story in terms of how I got called into pastoral ministry. I've told you.
I remember you quit your job and went in like a worthless person. You had been married by the time?
Yes,
so
I
your
just
wife.
No, but you know,
your wife must have prayed all night.
No, we never prayed all night. It was just learning to hear the voice of God in the situation and just responding to it because I told you about.
I don't know if I'd be brave enough
to do that.
Yeah.
No, but you see.
Did you walk off your job?
No, I didn't walk because where I was, I had to give them like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, so you gave them notice.
And my boss would come in.
And you made plans for what you were going to do? Did you have a ministry lined up, a position lined up?
Yeah, I know the ministry that I was going to join.
Right. And they were going to pay you, but less than what you were accustomed to getting. Oh, okay. So you didn't, I looked at it a little more dramatically than it actually was.
But then we're moving to that phase now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, one, we encourage people, and people have been hearing us speaking about it all of the time. Learn to know God for yourself.
Yeah.
Learn to listen to the voice of God. He speaks to us with word through different people, and just continue to line up. Because I tell people all the time, it's about faith and obedience. And you're doing that even now.
This is me, Minett?
Yes, Minett.
Yes, but I might have been railroaded into it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, but
I didn't voluntarily. Okay, so maybe it's a question of where you start the accounting or the review process.
Right.
I can easily remember when I said I do not want to work in a machinery that pursues an agenda with which I'm not in agreement, where I am unable to exercise free choice on who receives the product of my work.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the moment when I realized that, but this is not satisfying for me. This challenges my conscience.
Okay.
I'd like to work in a different way. And I said, okay, I need to change how I work. I can remember that. And so I began to make changes.
Okay.
And then I remember.
Because of your faith, though.
So
your faith causes you to
it's
change
my
your
faith in God.
Yeah.
Well,
Your
maybe
behavior.
I wasn't thinking faith in God at the time. What I was thinking conscience. I was thinking, the rich are getting richer. I am helping them to get richer. I don't see them choosing to represent people that look like me and have my interests. I don't see my neighborhood prospering from all the wealth. I'm not seeing fair treatment. I'm not seeing the kind of justice that I believe in. Now,
that's your kingdom.
That's so at the time I wasn't aligning it with any kingdom principle. I was seeking to be true to myself because I had learned enough about who I was and what mattered to me. So all the people who struggle with identity issues, it is very important to know yourself.
And to identify, to be comfortable
to
in
be
your own
comfortable
skin.
in your skin, to know the principles that drive you, what makes you get up and want to keep going. So all those things were important to me, and I said, I don't like this. And I'm a very vocal, I'm an outspoken person. And I believe that my feelings are valid and worthy. So I don't want to be dismissed. If I express a concern about something, I don't want anybody to fan it off and tell me
because you're a woman and you're a Christian
or worse yet, or whatever it is. And my feelings are to be taken seriously. And then I realized that, you know what, the only person who's going to take them seriously is you. So you treat them seriously and then see where it goes from there. So I started to make changes and look for causes and look for things that were of importance to me. And then comes a very important juncture, which I think every professional comes to that place. And what you do when you get there is a difference between, you just say heaven and hell or life and death. It is the moment of choice, and you have to recognize
that
it.
moment in your life.
It is, yes. I came to that place where I did not want to be taken advantage of.
Okay.
I said, the person who should profit most from my labor is me.
Okay.
I will not be producing while someone else who has no regard for me is profiting. So I began to make measurements, to look at who's doing what and how, and what I think ought to be done. I just began to take charge of my own circumstances and situation. And I made a choice that I needed to move in the direction that suited me. So I made another major decision
In
there.
alignment with God.
Yes. Yeah. And from there, it kept. So I would say maybe even the things that happened to me later in life had their groundings in those
first.
earlier. Yeah. And at all occasions, when I when I chose me, I was not the most powerful in the equation, in the sense that somebody was paying me. And I chose to go with my own thinking over and above the perspectives of my employer. Let's put it that way. A lot of us make decisions that are driven by the wrong perspective.
Driven by fear.
Driven by fear. Of course, because like I remember coming upon a situation. When I was working abroad, we were in a building, a predominantly female workforce, in a building, in a country that didn't have piped water available, you know, throughout. You had to purchase water and then supply, right? And there was a problem in the building for like 2 days, no water. And they didn't want to close the office.
Okay.
So I said, but what in humanity? So many women in a building, and you think it is hygienic to force us to do, I don't know what, carry water in a bottle, whatever method of, you don't want to close your building and lose some money for the days that your offices are closed, and you want the staff, predominantly female staff, to bear the brunt of that. I would rather live under a bridge.
Okay.
So I had to go to management with my tough talking self and have them
You
close the
talked
office.
tough.
And have them close the office. But I just remember thinking, everybody else is saying, well, we can't. I'm like, no, this is unacceptable. Every time you look, somebody is off trying to find a workaround somewhere else. Anyway, I just remember the live under a bridge. Because, of course, you're in a foreign country. Somebody will pay you. I'll pay your rent. If you get fired on the spot, you need to figure out your way. I can't recall seeing any bridge in that country.
Oh, my Lord.
It was not a country of rivers.
Oh, my glorious Father.
Boy.
But the thing, the themes that just jump out at me, the whole
strength
thing.
of your conviction.
Right. But faith versus fear, walking in obedience, that has been it for myself and my wife. My wife of 28 years, 29 next
when
year.
is your anniversary? What month?
January.
Ooh, so coming up.
It's coming up. So just that's one of the things I give thanks for, my beautiful wife, Michelle, family, and just an opportunity to facilitate persons and to practice my religion freely. We're talking about giving thanks. I am giving thanks for those things.
Well, I wrote down what I am most thankful for. Given all that I was just saying, I am most thankful to be living in purpose.
Okay.
After years of doubt and searching and agonizing, always wondering, am I doing the right thing? Is this what is the ideal thing for me? And sometimes when we're saying, am I doing the right thing? We're using some measurements that mightn't even be the right ones, because we might be anxious about security of job or income. You know, it is, but for me, it has always been moral jeopardy.
Okay.
I have never wanted to be in a state of doubt about
right and wrong,
and whether I'm doing the right thing. So always, moral jeopardy has been a concern of mine. I want to be on the right side of every important issue in my life.
And that's about right issue of God and what He is for.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Purpose.
Right.
Destiny.
It got very personal there. Good time for a break.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met. You're simply the best.
Bess FM-100 on your dial. Keep listening.
BBC News. Hello, I'm Moira Alderson. The BBC has found evidence that Afghans are selling their daughters and sedating their hungry children in order to survive, with the country in the midst of a humanitarian crisis. In the province of Herat, there were several incidences of families giving up their young daughters to early marriages. Parents say they're giving their children tranquilizers and antidepressants. Yogita Limaye is in Kabul.
Some of the other tablets that we saw were medicines that are usually used to treat depression or anxiety. And we've asked doctors what this could potentially do. And they've said that if these tablets are given to very young children, especially in the context of them not getting enough nutrition, they could lead to liver damage and a host of other behavioral disorders, anxiety disorders, chronic fatigues, lots of other different problems.
The United Nations Human Rights Commissioner says Iran is facing a fully fledged human rights crisis. He said this was a result of the state's violent suppression of protests. Imogen Folks reports.
The UN estimates at least 14,000 people, including children, have been arrested in Iran since the protests began in September. More than 300 protesters have been killed. Volker Turk, the UN's human rights chief, praised the incredible courage of the young women demanding an end to discrimination and accused Iran's leaders of having an untenable fortress mentality. Iran responded by describing the calls for an independent fact-finding mission as an arrogant political ploy.
China has reported its highest ever daily number of COVID infections, despite stringent measures designed to eliminate the virus. More than 31,000 new cases were recorded for Wednesday. The operator of the world's biggest iPhone factory in China has blamed a computer error for delayed payments that led thousands of workers to engage in violent clashes with security forces. Last week, Foxconn hired 100,000 new contract employees to work and live within its massive factory compound in Zhengzhou. Ukraine's energy minister says the electricity system is again functioning as a single network. Engineers are striving to restore power to millions of people after Russia's latest attacks. Jessica Parker reports.
It is another cold day here in Kyiv and a misty one as well. No lights behind me because 70% of the city, we're told, is still without power following yesterday's attacks on critical infrastructure. Also parts of the city without water. That situation has been repeated across parts of Ukraine, although there has been work to try and restore power, restore water supplies as well. But I think, of course, the concern is they had already been trying to repair the infrastructure from another wave of attacks that we saw last week.
BBC News. Anwar Ibrahim has been sworn in as Malaysia's new Prime Minister, ending a political deadlock that followed Saturday's election. He was appointed by King Sultan Abdullah after days of consultations to forge a unity government. Mr Anwar has been pursuing the Prime Minister's job for a quarter of a century. The oldest member of one of the world's most popular music groups, South Korea's BTS, will begin his mandatory military service next month. Army sources say Jin, who's 29, will be sent to a frontline unit near the border with North Korea. More than 140 people have been arrested in an international police operation targeting a scam that saw criminals impersonate corporations or government institutions to defraud victims. The practice, known as spoofing, involves criminals using illicit software to mimic institutions' real phone numbers on calls. It's believed to have netted scammers about $120 million worldwide. A study's found that the bird species with the most unique or extreme traits face the highest risk of extinction. Scientists at Imperial College London studied the extinction threat and physical attributes, such as beak shape and wing length, in 99% of all living bird species. Beth Timmins reports.
Using simulations, the researchers found that extinction scenarios would most likely eliminate a large proportion of unique bird species, along with the specialised roles they play in ecosystems. Examples include the Christmas frigate bird, which nests only on Christmas Island, and the bristle-thighed curlew, which migrates between Alaska and the South Pacific. The study could not establish what linked uniqueness in bird to extinction risk, but the researchers suggested that specialised organisms may be less able to adapt to environmental change caused by humans. Nearly half of the world's bird species are in decline, with 1 in 8 species threatened with extinction.
BBC News.
Do we love Jamaica? Do we love our children? If we must grow up in Jamaica, if we must grow up in the island of land, wood, and water, we must promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood, and peace, to serve diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, so that Jamaica may, under God, increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity, and play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race.
We're ever ready to assist you before, during, and after a disaster. Hurricanes can happen, so be prepared.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi style?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling her, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
Call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
There will be days when you're too tired to move, to drive, but you think you have to because your vehicle won't wash itself, right? But no, you don't have to visit a car wash. 123 Mobile Car Wash will come straight to you. Yes, you heard right. 123 Mobile Car Wash is offering services in Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine. We shampoo and detail cars, trucks, offices, and more. No job too small. Call us at 876-631-3400. 123 Mobile Car Wash. We come to you.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales, shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats. Bess FM.
This is your This is your beloved Pastor Percy from The Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray. Welcome. Good morning, welcome. It's good to be here this morning, as my very beautiful co-host was telling you this morning, that I just come. But it comes with the territory of being a dad,
Mothers are always on time.
Yeah,
Fathers, however.
Yeah.
Carry on.
I mean,
Carry on.
They couldn't miss it. No, you know.
Mothers are always on time.
Yeah,
Fathers, however.
Yeah.
Carry on.
I mean,
Carry on.
They couldn't miss it. No, you know, my son, we know that what CXE has done is that for English and math, you have to do a SB, you have to be a school-based assessment. One of the fascinating things which the English, they have introduced in English is that you have to prepare a speech. To be a school-based assessment. One of the fascinating things which the English, they have introduced in English is that you have to prepare math, you have to do a SB, you have to be a school-based assessment. One of the fascinating
From the beginning of civilization, it has been claimed that wars and rumors of wars has been created over who has the best radio station. So the nation prayed and asked the gods for their intervention, and it was revealed unto the people. There is no comparison to Bess100 FM.
Duh, that's why it's called Bess, stupid.
Welcome back, and thank you for being patient with us this morning. Thursdays are always fun days.
Enough fun days for you?
Yes, fun days for us, Free Flowing Thursday. I was listening on the radio and I heard the show start over again on air. So no, you're not hearing things. We're still here at the Ligani Club.
And we're thankful that we're alive.
And we've been giving thanks, yes. And
reflecting
on
reasons for God's goodness in our lives. It's goodness that brings us to repentance.
So what is the reason for his goodness in our life? He's a good God.
He's just a good God. Can't help but in good, whatever
Can't help
the
himself.
Yeah.
All right. Before Professor Goulding joins us, I wanted us to take a quick look at some of the headline issues, because by next week, some of them might have receded. And whatever we want to say on it, I think we got to seize the moment. Our Prime Minister has asked and stated that he has given instructions that Parliament look at imposing a 30-year minimum sentence for murder. Of course, being a layperson, he made no distinction between the categories of murder as recognized in our jurisprudence. I think we have capital murder and murder. If you were listening to the news, yes, because and this is how you have to watch and be mindful of how social issues mutate in our society. I can recall when Jamaica, we were going through, there was like an upsurge in domestic violence. And we were also in the early days of organized crime, kind of, taking a hold of the criminal underworld, the criminal elements them. And it was clear that we were not going to be enforcing the death sentence. We had the Pratt and Morgan decisions had already come down. The Privy Council had already ruled that if you keep a man for longer than a certain period of time, you had subjected him to inhumane treatment and could no longer take his life. I mean, really of a fact, it is just because people don't realize that living in this realm is not always a blessing.
True.
Anyway, as long as there's life, there is the hope for repentance and a new way. So keep a man alive, you give him an opportunity for redemption. These distinctions, these classifications of murder arose where the death penalty was now to be reserved for certain kinds of killing. And oddly enough, crimes of passion, which is where the domestic violence crimes typically fell, crimes of passion were not to be the subject of death penalty.
That is if you kill somebody because
there's a relationship.
Oh, that if
it happens, yeah.
Like if a woman give a man bone, you can't and him kill her.
You can't hang him.
You can't hang him for that.
Yes, that's
okay.
Right.
Okay, no.
You
put it in Jamaica.
Yeah, you can see that. You can see that being reasonable. I thought that was a greater betrayal of trust. That the person who you had an intimate relationship with would kill you. I thought that was worse than somebody just accepting money to kill you. But anyway, we were sending a message. We were sending a message against organized crime.
Yeah.
So that is what we reserved for the death penalty. So I suppose it will come out in the wash in that when it is all said and done in Parliament, where legal advice and reasoning gets taken into account, you may have a 30-year minimum for organized crime.
Okay.
So it's either 30-year minimum or death penalty. I don't know if we're still gonna say death penalty. But anyway, there's some resistance to this instruction that is given. Human rights persons, some are saying, no, they're saying that when you set a minimum at such a high level, you're taking away the discretion from the judge.
And that's what the whole point is.
And that's what the whole point is. So like I look at it and I say, but that's not a reason to complain about it. The only issue would be, is it the right minimum that he is proposing? No, it needs to come back.
So put it at millionaires, yeah.
Yeah, it is that the only issue would be, is it the right minimum? But the idea that a minimum of a high standard is required because you are sending the strongest message against a certain type of behavior. It's not new to Jamaican jurisprudence. We did it before. That is how come we ended up making a distinction between capital and non-capital. We said when people get overheated in their personal relationships and violence erupts, that is not as bad as when a man coldly and calculatedly takes money and go out and kill somebody against whom they have nothing, no problem, no issue. So we are at the stage now where it seems that there is need to send a signal that this level of behavior requires the stiffest penalty imaginable.
Okay. It even talk about that in the front page of the Observer says nonsense. Lawyers question feasibility of proposed 30-year sentence for murder. That was the headline. Nonsense. That's what came out of it. But some other headlines
meaning the lawyers are saying it's nonsense and not feasible.
Don't make no sense.
Well, there are some other practical things that come into play. And, we had a caller who kept talking about the capacity of the prisons and the condition of the prisons. When you say you want to keep people for a minimum of 30 years, where are you going to keep them?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Under what condition? Because you can't tie them on the tree and leave them outside like animals.
So it's just the practical consideration.
So there are some practical considerations.
So you go and do it. So even as you do policy, you have to have practical consideration. Even this gun thing. Where you put the people there? If you were there, where you going to put the people there?
Yeah, you keep longer sentences, more people. Look at this. On the front page of the Gleaner 2, there is a 16-year-old boy who was sentenced to 2 years in custody for having a knife on his person. He didn't use the knife. The reason he was before the court had nothing to do with the knife that was on his person. Yet a family court judge sentenced him to 2 years in custody. Draconian, in my view. And I was trying to find the scripture which speaks against those kinds of decisions coming out of our courts that use technical arguments to frustrate the overall objective of justice. Our Constitution says, and the law in other places say, whenever a child, and any matter that concerns a child, the welfare of the child is to be of paramount concern. The welfare of the child, not even what the law says, because the law is made really for adults, for people who are of full capacity.
Yeah, but you wonder, even in terms of it went to the Constitutional Court, that's what you're saying, and they threw it out.
Yes, because he was sentenced
because
that the
Office of the Children's Services
took it to court, quite rightly, and it went before three judges, three female judges in the full court, and their decision is perverse, in my opinion. And we're beginning to get these kinds of perverse decisions out of the court because we're all in a panic. We're all in a panic.
Fear. We're
all operating under fear, using the might of the state to curb behaviors of the heart, which require love, persistence, and the kinds of interventions which take time. When you put a 16-year-old boy in prison, basically, because he had a knife on his person, not because he used it.
Not because he assaulted the person, just because he had somebody in our fight.
He had assaulted someone at a party. It's not alleged that he did so with the knife. While he was being processed by the police, they found that 4-inch or 6-inch, they found a knife on his person. And when he was taken to court, the knife resulted in him being sentenced to 2 years. The children's advocate and their attorneys made the point that had he been before the court for possession of a knife, if that had been the predicate offense, the law would have given him, if found guilty, he had it, and he pleaded guilty, by the way, so he got no points for pleading guilty, which is also another part of the law. You should get points for pleading guilty. Had he been before the courts for the knife, he would have been subject to a fine of $4,000 or 4 months behind bars. Yet he ends up 2 years in custody, and this is coming out of the Constitutional Court. And this is the effect on our judicial system when the same people delivering judgment are the same ones who are terrified at the stoplight, are the same ones who are living under the stress and trauma of a country under siege. How can judges give you any justice that is pure when they are living in the same stressful situation and they don't have the light of God in them, in their hearts? I'm saying that. I don't know if they know
if they did ask, but
I don't know if these three had the light of God in their hearts, but their decision does not reflect it. And then you have the Prime Minister saying 30 years minimum for murder and 15 years minimum for having a gun. We are using the weight of the state, and we're using a punitive hand to curb behaviors of the heart. And it never works. It has never worked, and it will never work. Minett said that. Repeating what I know to be the heart of God. He himself said it to us. He said the law is death. The law is there because people will offend and can't stop the offense. That's what a law does. It is when you're there.
But does the law act as a kind of boundary? I say if you step over, you're going to get that. Are you? I know you're not advocating that we shouldn't have law.
No, I'm not advocating that.
I just want to put that on the table.
It's the impact of it.
But let's want to put that on the table.
Don't put it on the table. It's wrong table.
No, but hold on, mates. What you're saying is that I'm in agreement with you.
Yeah, but why I said don't put it on the table is because I want to keep it spiritual, and I don't want it to go into the realm of the laws that man make.
No, but
that's why I said the law is death.
No, we
that's
know
why
that.
Christ
We know
came.
from my spirit. We understand that.
Yes.
But out of spirit comes physical. True? Right, means?
Yes.
Okay. So we're in agreement that from a spiritual perspective, that the law in itself, what it did was bring death. Agreed?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. So you are not saying that there's no need for law.
No, of course not.
Okay. But because people...
But you can't use it. It's the use of it I'm talking about. The use of it. You cannot use it to fix matters of the heart.
Which we are in agreement with.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's what we are seeking to do constantly.
To remind people that if you're going to really bring about a change in terms of a lot of the things that we are seeing, you have to fix the heart condition of people, which is a spiritual matter. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, man. I want to be clear. I don't want people to misunderstand my friend, you know.
Well, I don't think anyone misunderstood me, but I'm glad you are now clear, except you.
Be clear? It's all right. You know, people they in the mass you know, shut up on the program. I said, no, I know that's not what you're saying.
No, we talk about it all the time. This instinct we have, put out the police, send out the police, arm the nation or the police or whatever it is we're trying to do. Where even those citizens who say, let everybody have a gun. Because we are trying to use the wrong weapon or the wrong methodology to cure a problem for which the true therapy, the thing that works is well known. We just don't have the patience
and the courage.
And well,
the courage.
I don't know if it is even courage.
No, but let me say the courage, you know. All right. So
explain courage to me.
Let me explain. When I speak courage, all right, everybody, doing a job, that a fundamental challenge that we have is that even though we say we are a God-fearing nation and we believe in a God, the principles and the prescription that God has given to us in terms of fixing the problem, we walk wide from it. We walk wide from it, and we are not in acceptance of what God has prescribed. He say if you really want healing, you have to repent. That's what God's saying. You know? If you really want healing in the land, because innocent, but you have to repent. But we are so fixed and say, no, man, that is not true. We have to come to a place first of repentance, recognizing that repentance has spiritual implications for us in terms of personally, in terms of community, in terms of nation. You asked me the question earlier this week, what it is that will do that. And we see it recorded in scripture.
Yes.
That this is the way that when everything seems helter-skelter, out of control, that you go back to the source, and the source has prescribed certain actions in terms of what we need to do. But we know that, you know, but we are run away from it. We're saying we're not operating a theocracy. We're not about a theocracy. We are just simply saying that when the things don't work as they should work, you go back to the source. The source says, if you repent, you turn from your wicked ways, in terms of everything that you do, then the healing will happen. Then the real transformation will happen.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Right. As we wrap up on this issue, Justice Minister Delroy Truck disagrees with the argument that tougher sentencing does not deter crime. And here's what he gives as the example. Well, he says it sends the right signal that offenses such as murder and other serious offenses deserve the harshest and most severe penalties. Is there a penalty more severe than the death sentence? Is there a penalty more severe than the death sentence?
No.
No. Right now, capital murder gets the death sentence. It is already at the harshest, you know.
We're going to enforce it.
We don't enforce it. So that brings you to another issue. It clearly is not the sentence that is making a difference.
We're walking in it.
Yes. All right. Thankfully, we are at the 8:30 break. And we are happy to see that Professor Golding is already here. We're looking forward to talking to him. Yes, so please stay with us when we return from our break. We'll have a chat with the man who has looked at the first 21st of the 21st and see what impact that's going to have on the next 21 years.
It's good. It's
Hello. Pastor Howard Palmer here, coming to you from New York City this and every Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's right, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. this and every Saturday morning, right here on Bess100 FM. Don't you miss it.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Hey everybody, Dr. Julia D. Fagan here. I just want to invite you to join me on Friend of a Wounded Heart right here on Bess FM every Saturday, 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. Guess what? I'm looking forward to coming into your homes, at your workplaces, behind prison bars, at infirmaries, wherever you are. Shalom.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. You hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
I try and call you, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back. We are so pleased to have Professor Golding with us at the table. Last time you were here, some person tried to give you a different Gold name. You don't look so guilty.
Not looking guilty. I'm wondering who she talking about.
Goldson, wasn't you? Yeah, of course it was you. But we definitely know it is Professor Golding. We're talking about your time at University of Technology. And even before you came on, we were lauding the university for their capacity to do publishing of this magnitude, because I know your book is destined to be one of the thought leaders for the next 21 years. So just remind us, what is it that you do at the University of Technology and why you have chosen to do this commentary on the first 21 years?
What's it?
Yes.
Okay. I did history at A-levels.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was taught a lot of
torture
lies.
chamber.
But it wasn't done deliberately because persons were just teaching what
they themselves had learned.
Right.
Mm.
Right. So I got exposed at A levels to a particular teacher who his approach was different. He looked at different perspectives. He looked not just at, well, slavery was abolished, but why was it abolished? And the socio-political aspect of it.
The context.
Socio-political, economic aspect.
Yes, socio-political and economic aspect. We can't leave out the economic aspect of it as to why that was the case. And over time, what I have realized that even with the Bible, it tells you that history can repeat itself.
Oh, nothing new under the sun. We repeated that this morning.
Each generation discovers something that the other one had discovered.
When I wake up, I say, oh, but that man, they talk about it already, probably in a different way.
And until you get to that realization, it means that we're going to continue to make the same mistakes over and over again.
True.
I'm intrigued.
That's so the whole idea about this was one, initially we did not write our history.
True.
We had nothing to do with it.
We were not the victors with the pen and the printing presses.
Right. And as far as they are concerned, slavery was just abolished. Nothing happened in between the start and
and the finish.
Right. It just was abolished.
It went.
Yeah, and so be it. So we don't have the full perspective on that. So that was the first part. The second part of it is that we not only didn't write our history, is that when our history was happening, we weren't there collecting data and looking at some of the
no record keepers of
the nitty-gritty of it.
Right.
And as such, when we in 1999 or 1998, when we decided to deregulate the telecommunications industry, I started documenting from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're one of the living historians.
Yes. And when you now try to condense all the things that has happened, you cannot cover everything because a lot of things happened in 21 years. I gave short thrift, for instance, to 9/11. 9/11 did happen before too.
Yes.
But it was your concern, because that's certain perspective that you are writing from, right?
But it certainly is one of the historical facts that had a great influence,
of course,
in those first 21 years.
Yes.
But in its own perspective of writing, that wasn't a major. You don't say it happened, but I'm focusing on other
and
things.
they certainly have been writing that. That part of American history and world history is well covered. I'm intrigued by what you're saying, because though you've not brought the book to do a reading for me, clearly that's another visit. I'm getting from you, that sounds like a goal. I'm getting from you that as a note taker, one, you had the foresight to be a note taker of our own history.
Yes.
And I know you've been writing throughout the period as well.
Yes.
So this book is really reflecting the actual happenings from the time they began to today as they're beginning to impose influence.
Yes.
I want you to share a little thing. I mean, not a spoiler alert, but as you wrote, what was emerging in your consciousness as perhaps one of the most definitive, pick from any field, you have done technology, finance, and social-political, or maybe pick one from each. What has emerged as the leaders?
This is almost cliche, that the more things change,
the more they remain the same.
It's almost cliche, but it's true. When I look, for instance, at social media and post-truth era and what have you, we're living in a post-truth era.
That's true. Of
course.
It's just whose truth it was.
Move somewhere. That's true.
Yes. Right? And the method of delivery.
Yes, the method of delivery is different. But so when you look at all these changes and you're thinking that, well, okay, these changes are unprecedented, and they're not. The pandemic, for instance.
So the sameness of things.
The sameness of things.
You.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I was surprised, for instance, as to how the pandemic was dealt with. Because there were volumes of documentation written on how do you deal with a pandemic.
From the last pandemic.
Yes.
And we wrote some new ones.
And because of ideology.
Try again, Prof. Because of ideology and agendas.
Yes.
Politics.
Yes.
Economics.
Yes.
The same drivers.
The same drivers. All these other things. You watched it. In a big way. Watched it.
Just like how the last one was botched, and they wrote lots of instructions on how not to botch the next one.
Yes. And because it didn't happen in your lifetime, it's new.
Yes, of course. That is the nature of things.
But as you say that, those of us who are not readers of history will make the same mistakes over and over again. But not only those who read it, but those who understand it and know to manipulate it, gonna use that because that emerged big time, you know.
Yes.
That's how I think that emerged.
And not to steal Prof's words, but as it did the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As it did the last time. If I just look at one other area, I've been around long enough, and you guys have been around long enough to have seen more than one Ponzi scheme in Jamaica.
Yes.
And you would think...
How new was the last one? Brand new, right?
It was brand new.
It was brand new.
And everybody's saying, no man, this one different.
Yes. Brand new.
So have you seen, for example, the impact that personalities have on this repetitive mistake making?
Oh, that's a huge factor.
Yeah.
That's a huge factor because leadership really is important. Because persons will gravitate towards because of the things that you say.
So leadership is crucial.
Yep. Even though not one of those things new, groundbreaking, or sometimes even true.
Sometimes
even true.
Yeah, but that thing in terms of information.
Wow.
Or you manipulate the information. We've heard this thing before, knowledge is power.
Yes.
The knowledge is there to guide, but then who holds on to the knowledge and keep it to themselves is those who have the greatest influence.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that is a theme that emerged when you're looking at the 21 years.
Yes. And you see, the interesting thing in it is that the knowledge is out there.
Right.
The knowledge is out there, you know. Just that, what sometimes gets drowned out is the propaganda. Sorry, the propaganda
Drowns out the knowledge and the truth, yeah.
Right?
So what we call propaganda now, we have another name for it, misinformation and
yes, and disinformation.
So that's a new name for propaganda.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
But it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Propaganda is so what, 90s or maybe
Right,
80s? No,
it's Cold War.
What is it? Cold War.
Cold War, yes.
Cold War.
Yeah, 1940s.
What are we calling it? The Cold War now? Post-truth?
Yeah, but the post-truth era.
The post-truth era. Is that the same as the post-Christian era?
I guess it is, you know.
It is.
It is.
Aligning Christianity with truth.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so now we're in the, you know, I almost feel blasé to be continuing the conversation because how often can you emphasize that it's more of the same? Still, the one distinguishing feature of the first 21 for me has been the ramped up international focus on human rights and I would say human rights.
Trying to get.
Yeah. Never. It's not new. That too is not new. But I'm trying to find a new way.
Let the man talk him thing. We're not getting in trouble.
No, we're not gonna get him in trouble. I just want to I want to look at how this switching of language, because we have looked at human rights before.
Yes.
But now we're looking at it through some slightly different lens.
Yes, ma'am.
A more personal lens, would you say? What change have you seen? How have you seen it shift?
Or an
Because
agenda
it used to be political. human rights of maybe a decade or 3 ago focused on a more political agenda at nations, at which nation was committing atrocities against. Now it has shifted into a more personal, it's the Me Too movement.
That's what I was saying, through the lens that you look at it in terms of human rights.
So no, you can, has that made a difference? Is that likely to produce any different results?
I looked at, and without saying much.
Yes, you don't want to give away the book, we need to buy it?
Yes.
Where is it available, by the way?
I'll let you know shortly. Yeah.
I thought we'll get autograph copies for the show.
When you go to the launch later, you can put in your petition.
I looked at Bujabanta.
Yes.
And his incarceration.
Oh. Okay, that's a good one that we can relate to in Jamaica. Yes.
So, at many levels, cultural as well, because of the music.
Yeah. And I looked at it broadly first to say, what's happening in the Western nations.
Yes.
And how because of the West, all that is not new
influence, yes.
Because the West always thought that the rest of the world ought to be
following their lead.
Yeah, but that's not the word that they use. Civilized.
Civilized.
The rest of the world needs to be civilized, and if you have any other culture different from theirs, you are not civilized.
You're not. You're savages.
Yes. Even though
primitive,
they have gone to places in which the culture and the economy of the place was far ahead of theirs.
We see that. We see that. We've seen that even
in the world.
To follow history. When you follow,
I won't get you in trouble.
When you follow history, like when they went to Africa, they were amazed. When they went to South America, they were amazed at the level of the civilization.
Yes.
Somebody was pointed out to me. He went to, where it was, Ecuador, one of the countries, and he noticed that even in the ancient way of the Delta, there was water for the animals, brought in different from water from the human beings. And even in their thing, I think, that was thousands of years ago, because that is still there for people to see.
Yes. But I remember going to a museum in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And they were showing some mummies from Egypt.
Yeah.
And I'm saying the technology that must have done this, it is not technology that we have experienced before. When you look at these mummies and sculptures and whatever, these things look so real.
Really lifelike.
Yeah.
Still ahead of where we are.
Still ahead of where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we continue to think that everything is new because
we haven't discovered it yet. But so even when you consider a child going through its stages of development and discovering object permanence, to use a phrase I learned.
You learn that, okay.
Yes, when you're a new mother and you're reading every book that's ever written,
right.
You learn things. So you understand that until you can cognitively recognize a thing, it is a discovery.
Yes.
Everything that is new to you is new to your world.
Yes.
And if you have the confidence and the military power to insist that you have discovered it.
Oh, of course.
You have discovered it.
That is the truth.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
So, well, now social media has interfered with that narrative a bit.
Yes.
Because of the difficulty to govern it.
To control it.
Yeah. What impact? How have you looked at, even as we were talking about human rights, because much of the advances in the human rights discussion have occurred in social media through the things that people have been able to publish, and it catches fire before officialdom can throw a blanket over it.
Yeah.
So what wisdom
we talk
Professor?
We talk about democracy a lot, right?
Yes.
But countries don't like democracy anymore.
Not at all. It interferes with order and authority.
Yes. And what social media has done is to really
democratize.
the media.
Yes. Yeah.
It comes with its shortfalls, of course. But it means that there is no one person or one set of persons who controls the narrative.
Will it survive? Will social media survive?
I think it will,
For so long as people have tongues.
Yes.
They will find
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because after all, it is just
I
the
think
most.
it will.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, I think it will.
I share
don't
your
think-
view.
Yeah, I don't, regardless of who owns it. And what people will do is that if you try to shut them up, they'll move on, right?
The amoeba.
Yeah, I also wrote about social media in its early days.
Yes.
As it impacted politics, for instance, in the Middle East.
Oh, that is unforgettable.
Still impacting it.
Still impacting
Yeah,
it.
Iran and
but it
what's
tore
that?
down it tore down a government.
Yes, governments.
Yes.
Yes. And when that was happening, the West praised it and said, "Good, that's well
Yeah,
done,
because
what have you
we didn't have to spend any money destabilizing that regime. The people did it for us.
And then
until it turned on them.
and then it went to Britain,
Mm-hmm.
and persons were demonstrating and planning online, and then they wanted to shut it
To
down.
shut it down.
Like anybody else, like any other government.
Yes.
Yeah, they wanted to shut it down.
The heavy hand, state
Yeah.
power.
Yeah. So this is what
And
real.
it is true, even the fake news.
Well,
Say it again?
whichever one.
Fake
whether it is
news.
fake news.
Remember
or,
what happened with social
Yeah.
media
Right.
and Twitter and so on,
Yeah.
and the war, and you're banning
Right.
people because you want to control the narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you have said, people, they lauded it when it was in the Middle East. Now it come back and it's biting them like
So
the
did
dog
you-
that has turned
Yeah.
back and bit them on their bottom.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So did you travel with it to the US and the elections?
Oh, of course I had to.
A faithful watcher. So he's a watcher.
You're the watcher.
You see,
Yes.
2016, and because I tie a lot of things together, 2016, you had this upheaval.
Yes.
Right? In fact, I remember the night of the Brexit vote.
Yes.
I stayed up all night.
Taking notes.
Because
For
I was
history.
amazed. I didn't think that this thing could have happened any at all.
Yeah.
It happened.
Yes, but I sat up and I watched it right through. I recorded it too. But it happened, and I'm seeing this thing is happening in front of me. And then, I'm trying to remember which one happened first. Was it Brexit first or Trump first?
Brexit first.
Brexit first.
Yes.
That's true. Brexit and then Trump. And you see the two things happening. I clearly remember the day of the election, in which there are some staff members and I sitting down and they're talking about Hillary Clinton is going to win easily and so on. And by 9 o'clock, it started looking like
It's not so easy.
But you find that all these things happen, and people weaponize all kinds of things.
That's a word I rather like.
They're weaponizing me.
Weaponize.
Yeah, but again, what
Yeah.
happened, for instance, when the financial system is used against other countries, it's not weaponized. Basically, what is happening is that you're not even exercising your power, you're exercising your right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, because it is yours.
It's yours.
It is yours.
Yeah.
And more fool to the guy who thought that he could harness himself to your cart and become the driver.
Yes.
Yeah. But when you look at it, have you it says commentary.
Yes.
So can I expect then that I will see your thought process on what the next step is if things were to develop along customary lines? Have you shared your own insights into the next?
I looked at, yes, there's a kind of
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just like
What are the next? What you're becoming a prophet.
Yes.
If we come now, prophet, he's speaking into the future.
Absolutely. And
so there's a little peek into the future.
Into the future.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Into the future.
You see, you're just teasing us now, because of course you didn't travel with the book, and I did not make best efforts to find a copy of the book before the launch.
It's out already.
It's out already.
Yeah.
So where
it's
can
on
be
the
found?
shelves.
It's not on the bookshelves. Right. It's on Amazon.
Okay.
Oh, you did ask that. It can be had though at on Instagram at I am Paul.
So this now, is it available in digital form or?
Exactly.
Oh, how lovely! How lovely!
So it's how many pages?
Just over 240 pages.
What's the page count that draws your attention?
That's a good read. 2 days. I hope it's compelling reading. It should be based on what you said.
And let me also say this: is something that you can read almost in sections.
Right. Yes.
You can read almost in sections.
A book within a book.
Yes.
Because of how you've developed the themes. Yes. Would it make a good movie like the Michael Moore movies?
I think
you know the Michael Moore movies.
Man, of course.
So you wrote it for screen.
I think it's very complex because it deals with a lot of issues. I mean, I mentioned in the book about us moving towards having not just a transshipment, but a logistics hub.
This is Jamaica. So it has a uniquely Jamaican perspective despite the international flavor.
Yes.
What impact would you say, for example, the Brexit situation has had or will have on Jamaica? Have you made linkages like that? I don't want you to tell us.
No, not in the book.
Okay.
Not in the book. I didn't pay much attention on British politics. Since then, I've been paying far more attention to British politics.
With the many prime ministers.
Yes.
Yes, prime minister.
Yes.
Remember that watching that on
the
TV.
comedy.
Yes.
The
yes,
comedy.
Prime Minister.
So,
that was a classic.
It still is.
Yes.
So I asked the question because as you project what Jamaica's experience in the next season might be, I dare say you have looked at it in the global context of, for example, we're in CARICOM. England was in Brexit.
Yes.
Should we be looking at more CARICOM, less CARICOM? What's the future of cooperation in the region? When you look at what's happening, look at even Ukraine courting NATO and then finding that they're on the receiving end of Russia's wrath. Yes. And how it is playing out in terms of what does international cooperation really mean?
I didn't look at it from that perspective. I looked at it from China's perspective.
Yes. Well, any perspective is good.
So I looked at it from China, and even the Goat Island thing.
Yes.
That was in there too.
Yes. Yes.
That we were quite gung ho. Yes. And then Obama paid us a visit and everything.
Just died.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the influence there now, obviously, there are, yes.
So what I'm hearing from you, Prof, is that right in the book, you have looked at the global perspectives, but then really how it has impacted us as a country. If you were to summarize, it's all the global things happening.
Yes.
That's happening, but let's pigeonhole it to what's happening in Jamaica and how it has impacted our technological or socio-political or economic state. So it's a good read for anybody.
It's a good read.
From either perspective, because even if you were just chronicling what's happening in Jamaica, but you caught the context, the global context, even a man who is saying, no, I wasn't influenced by that, consciously, can't escape the link between what was happening out there and the policies that we began to pursue here. You know, it's time for a break. It's been half an hour.
Wow.
So like it's a good read.
Please stay with us because I do want persons to know how they can have access to what it is that you have done. Let's take our 9 o'clock break.
Hello. Pastor Howard Palmer here, coming to you from New York City this and every Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's right, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. this and every Saturday morning, right here on Bess100 FM. Don't you miss it.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales, shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
There will be days when you're too tired to move, to drive, but you think you have to because your vehicle won't wash itself, right? But no, you don't have to visit a car wash. 123 Mobile Car Wash will come straight to you. Yes, you heard right. 123 Mobile Car Wash is offering services in Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine. We shampoo and detail cars, trucks, offices, and more. No job too small. Call us at 876-631-3400. 123 Mobile Car Wash. We come to you.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Hey everybody, Dr. Julia D. Fagan here. I just want to invite you to join me on Friend of a Wounded Heart right here on Bess FM every Saturday, 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. Guess what? I'm looking forward to coming into your homes, at your workplaces, behind prison bars, at infirmaries, wherever you are. Shalom.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how we do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
I try calling her, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Also produce water.
You can turn water into wine.
Oh, both. I need to see it done. Oh, we're back on the air. Oh.
Yes.
This is, I tell you, it's free-flowing Thursdays, Professor.
Yes.
Do not be surprised by the things we get up to. But welcome back to those who are following the conversation that we're having with Professor Golding, Paul Golding, a son of the soil, a watcher. If you want to know what a watcher is, Pastor will tell you on another occasion. But there are those who are called instinctively, spiritually, by whatever means, to be note takers, observers of history, chroniclers, and Paul Golding has put himself
in that very honored position, because you hear people all the time asking, so what happened before and what they used to do and how was it solved? Because we know nothing new under the sun. So the book is The First 21 Years of the 21st Century. Observations from Jamaica.
Yeah.
I love it. I did not notice that that's included in the title. And so Professor Golding has been sharing with us some of the insights in the book. It is shaping up to be an excellent read. Only 200 pages, and he's going to tell us now how we can get ourselves a copy of the book and about the launch, which takes place later today.
Well, let me start with the last thing you said, the launch, which is today.
Will there be dancing girls?
It depends.
Oh, really? You see, Professor Golding can deal with me. If I said that to Percy would be calling down the blood of Jesus.
Dancing girls are good. My daughter dances and she's a girl, so dancing
Not
girls.
Percy. Your reference to dancing girls can't be your daughter.
Dancing? She's a dancer. I don't come on.
When we have to say she's a girl.
Dancing girl.
This one involves poles.
Not your daughter. Not your daughter.
That's what you're talking about. Dancing girl. To the pure, all things are pure.
So maybe, the launch is this evening, hey?
Yes. So the launch is this evening at 5 o'clock at University of Technology, Jamaica, Lecture Theatre 50.
Yes.
Yeah. And one of the persons that we'll be honoring is Martin Henry.
Oh my
Martin
goodness.
Henry, yes.
Of blessed memory.
Of blessed memory.
He was my lecturer in economics. Was it economics? He lectured me at Brownstown Community College. Yes.
Okay.
That's how old Martin Henry. I see the gentleman.
What did you say?
That's how old the gentleman is.
Well, not just how old, he's passed away.
Oh, okay.
So you may be thinking of a different
No,
Martin
because I
Henry.
remember Martin Henry had passed. So when you say you're honoring him, I'm going, oh, because when you honor people, I love to honor people when they're alive, not when they're passed away.
Dear Lord, back to the launch.
His wife will be there.
Okay, good, yeah.
Okay, so it's more than a launch.
It's more than a launch.
Also an acknowledgement of
because
greatness.
when I started writing, my writing was mostly academic writing.
Okay.
And I wanted to transition into writing for the newspaper.
Martin Henry. Excellent writer.
Yeah. So I had to sit with Martin and Martin kind of guide me to say, listen, some of these details people don't want to know. Right?
They don't want to know.
They're accurate and great for the peer review.
Yes, but the general public don't want to know. So you can get rid of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And
that is a great lesson. I thank Martin Henry because now I can read your book. Without fear.
There's still data in there, though.
It should be, because when you're making observation, you have to have data to say, this is what it is, yeah.
Yeah, so there's data in there. So it will be at 5 o'clock. We will start, we intend to start promptly after. We'll have a book signing in which the author will sign books.
In which you will sign books.
Yeah.
The author, if there was somebody else that was involved in this whole thing.
Letting it be known.
And
there
will be book signing after. The books can be had at the book signing, for instance. Persons can pay with there is a
credit card,
swipe card.
No swipe card. There can be you can pay on your phone. There is a e-commerce platform that we're using.
I saw that on the CD.
Yeah, there's an e-commerce platform that we're using. It can also be had on Amazon. Has been on Amazon since May.
Since May?
Since May. But you see other things happen between May and
right.
Yeah, so you've not given it your best shot.
Although funny enough, Andrea is pushing it before, but I'll come to that.
Yes.
Okay.
It can also be had on Instagram, and my handle is I am Paul Goulding.
I am Paul Goulding.
I am Paul Goulding. So those are the three ways in which they they can be had. I encourage everyone though to come out this evening and to the launch, which will be different.
Girls or not.
Yes, will be different.
Yes. We plan to join you. I don't know, Pastor Percival may have other engagements. But
what is the cost? What is the cost?
The cost, I can only talk about the Jamaican dollar side. It's $4,000.
Okay.
It's priceless.
Yeah, it's priceless based on what you have shared and just the perspective from a Jamaican global events from a Jamaican. It's wonderful. Yes.
Yeah.
So now I am intrigued about the I am Paul Golding handle. Who is Paul Golding?
I thought you introduced me.
I want more, and a man is bold enough to say I am Paul Golding. But
so you
the reason,
I am Minett.
Not at all. I don't even have an Instagram handle. I need to get one.
You need to get one too. It was interesting. Somebody, I'm doing a wedding for somebody, and they says, what is your Instagram thing? So what they said. What is your? I was going, what?
Yeah, you're dating yourself.
What? No, it's not dating yourself. It's just for me. I know Paul is very much into social media and technology and so on. And some of us don't even consider it. But it says, what is your Instagram handle? And I've been, I know what that is, but I don't have one. So beg you, please.
It's funny. I love to read, and I pull information from all over, but social media has not been a great place for me. So like Percival, I don't have a handle. Still, in discovering Paul Golding, I hear you say, like, I pick up how you think this book might be useful. You say there's data in it which tells me students who are researching and so on. So it would no doubt be a good tool for studies.
Communication.
Contemporary studies.
Yes.
So I expect it to be, but is it, what else do you, envisage it being of use to mankind?
If I go back to what I was saying at the beginning, the usefulness for it for mankind and for Jamaican kind.
Yes, you're a special kind of mankind.
But it's like us in the world.
We have our own shelf.
Yeah, it's for us to at least be able to have a point of reference.
Excellent.
Yeah, a point of reference to say, well, okay. In 2013, the Minister of Finance wanted to tax bank transaction.
Okay.
And it never make no sense, right? Mm-hmm. So don't come up with it again.
Yes.
That's significant.
Yeah. So that too was examined. Because there's a lot of little things that happen between then, and now.
But now we pay GCT on every single transaction.
Yes.
So he has managed to collect his pound of flesh anyway.
Yeah.
So
I hope you're not giving them any ideas in the book, the tax authorities. Have you done that, Paul?
No.
Oh, no. You haven't given them any ideas as to how to put the burden on us even heavier.
No, I wouldn't have done that.
Oh, okay, all right.
But what is chilling from your commentary is that we made a mistake then. We knew it was a mistake. We wrote it down for posterity that this one is a mistake. And the next generation made the same mistake by saying, well, whatever those people were doing, be different.
Yeah, and we're smarter than them.
And they didn't have this.
Oh,
and so I will
make a mistake
all the time.
All the
over
time.
Again, each person.
Yeah.
No, it's like when even you as a parent tell your child that that's a bad idea. Says, well, mommy, or daddy, that was
in
then.
your days.
Right. And I need to discover it for myself.
Yeah.
And so it's perpetuated.
Yeah.
You are a parent also.
Yes.
If I recall, you have a Daniel.
Yes.
I have a Daniel.
Oh.
I have a Daniel.
And he has a Daniel. Daniel.
Close enough, right?
Yeah. We thought it was a boy, actually. And then when they came, oh, it's a girl. I'm serious.
So they just said Daniel.
Yeah, we just said Daniel. Yeah, we thought it was a Daniel. And then we bought all these stuff. And
yes.
Then, serious. Yeah. I'm not kidding you.
Okay. And
then all of the things that they
had to die
and then you dip the I was wondering, did you just dye some things, move from pink to blue and carry on?
Lord,
how has your parenting experience influenced the work that you do as a scholar?
Oh gosh.
Has it?
Of course it has.
When you said watch, I didn't know what was coming.
No, man, of course it has. The way you advise students as if they're yours.
They're your own.
Oh, yes.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
man, you advise. I tell you something else that I do. All my last class, especially when I teach the master students, which is most of the people that I do, I do a last lecture, which is about half an hour, which says what I wish I knew when I was 25.
That's your last lecture.
Yes.
Okay.
And is the most impactful of
Wow.
everything that I do because I'm talking to you
as my son or my
Right.
daughter.
And daughters, and you're speaking
Yes.
truth.
Right.
Unvarnished.
Unvarnished. Sometimes people might drop open to say, "You really said that, sir?"
Yeah.
Can it be said on air?
So that's what they're saying. You're going to be a master student at UTech, and Prof is going to teach you.
No, I want you to get it right here after the
No,
show.
oh, you get it after. Let me say, but you're
Yes.
saying if you really want the length and breadth and the legacy of Prof,
Yeah.
then you need to become.
You know,
And
as a master.
I speak particularly to men, to say, listen, there are certain things that you do for a time, but you can't continue doing it.
Words of wisdom.
Yeah, man. Certain things you grow older and you realize that this is arms house, and you need to accept it and deal with it accordingly.
I always wonder what arms house meant.
You know what arms house means?
It will take you to the poorhouse. What does it mean?
Arms house,
Okay, I
you're
know.
behaving poorly. you're gone, you are behaving like a dog.
So I want to know. I'm gonna get cerebral on Professor and say. So there are things from your youth which you decided if you were to continue them, they would lead you to poverty, bankruptcy.
Yeah.
That's the arms house behavior.
That's what he's talking about.
Okay, so it's not about moral degeneracy.
That's part of it too.
Yeah, but
that's part of it too.
Well, no. So Percy is
But
now
when you're-
confessing,
when you're a
but
child, you
Professor
speak
is
like
not.
a child, right? And you do all these things, but you
Professor is not confessing to moral degeneracy, but I see that you are.
You can't say anything that you want because as we speak if you continue in that way, it's not going to work out.
Yeah.
And you can't be a gallus. You remember that expression? Yeah.
Stop picking words out of my head. What would it be now? Gallism?
But I want to say something else here because I explained to them the purpose of education. It's not just for knowledge, but it is a serious behavior change that it is supposed to bring.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
And if it doesn't bring, and that's part of the degeneracy in our society,
Yeah.
There is, and when I'm talking about, yesterday I shared with a number of persons what the Japanese did after they won 2-1.
Okay, yes.
After they won 2-1, they went and cleaned up the stadium.
Oh, that's beautiful. Are
They
you
went and
serious?
clean up. You mean the Japanese fans and everybody? They went.
No,
the Japanese fans.
And the players?
No,
Or the
just the fans.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
but
Japanese fans
amazing.
went and cleaned up the stadium. They took up everything.
All of the garbage
in
that
the whole
they
stadium,
have-
Not just where they were.
Not
You
just
don't see
where
that
they
on the world
celebrate
news, though,
and
in the
wait.
profits. How did you pick that up?
It was on BBC. It was
Oh,
the
the
bottom.
bottom. Okay,
In the
okay.
fine print.
Yeah, it was
For
down to
those
the
who
bottom.
watch.
Right. But that's what they did, right?
Yeah.
That's who they are.
That's who they are.
Yes.
Right? And the question that we as a country must ask ourselves is, who are we?
Who are we?
Right? Is there anything besides sports, right, that we see as a common good that we should aspire to?
And that speaks about our identity outside of just bare economics.
Yes.
Because the things you do for survival don't really define you.
No, they don't.
It's the things you do when you have choice.
Yes.
You know, and it just speaks to what is happening on our roads in terms of how we drive. Do you know that the persons who are the main offenders who you see now breaking the line of traffic when people are waiting beyond the taxi man is the people who are driving the SUVs, the Mercedes Benz, the BMW. No, that's all right, Prof, but I'm just saying, but I don't expect to see your Mercedes Benz making 2 lane of traffic when there's one.
No.
But I'm just amazed, and I'm saying to my child, look at that. And they said that way to assess, look what you see happening.
It's where are you driving? Because I have not seen that. But I think it's because there's a Mercedes Benz in your future. You keep seeing them.
I don't think so. No, but it's a serious thing.
I've not seen that.
No, up to yesterday.
I see taxi men. I see a lot of
I
taxi
seen
men.
mostly taxi men.
I see
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying the taxi. No, but I've seen it in terms of persons who. No, it's a serious thing, my friend.
Well, okay. I want to ask Professor a question because the first 21 years have seen our fair share of trauma. I mean, we had a pandemic. I would suspect that the death toll from the pandemic globally has put it at a between violence and pandemic and mass shootings in America and so on. It was a fairly bloody season.
Especially the latter part of it.
Especially the latter part. Now, there is something that gets pressed out of humanity by suffering, personal suffering, global suffering, whatever. I want to just get your insight and your observations. I know that perhaps for a time, as you were publishing and in the final season of the book, you yourself had your period of suffering. What impact, if any, how does that shape the next season? The experience of suffering,
yes.
surviving it, and then moving ahead.
Let me put all this quickly in context then.
Yes.
My wife died on the 16th of July, Friday the 16th of July. She in 2019 she did her mammogram, and or was it 2018? I think it was 2019.
Yeah, 2019.
And she didn't do one in 2020 because of COVID.
Oh.
And yeah.
Oh.
She didn't do it in 2020. And in 2021, she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer.
So right away, we are seeing just the impact of that public health change.
Yes.
On
it did
at least one life.
Yes.
And you can imagine that there are multiples of that story
all over the world.
All over the world.
Which is why, even as you reflect on it, there's a school of thought that says, don't do multiple lockdowns, do it targeted. That came out.
Yeah.
And people are saying, no, log it down. And people are saying, because it's going to impact so many other things, mental health, what happens in the hospital system. That's something that emerged.
But also, it tells you now, when you look at how policy is cast, because we were all there and saw the broad brush approach, and we saw the exemptions. Because, I do recall an octogenarian individual of high standing being able to get private transportation out of the country to go to a foreign country for treatment and died there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not hard to imagine who you're talking about.
Yeah. It strikes.
So we talk about justice a lot, and we speak. I am always driving home how policy is how policy drives law, and how consultation with the people becomes a necessary part of setting policy, because now that could lead to some amount of bitterness if you allowed it.
Oh gosh. I didn't think of it that way,
Yeah.
I didn't think of it that way.
So you never allowed it?
No, never thought of it that way. Andrew and I, we lived our lives. We enjoyed this life that God gave us. And as a result of that, we weren't waiting to retire or anything like that to live. We lived every day.
And that's good advice.
Yeah.
I think it's your last.
Yes, we lived every day. Really lived every day. And we enjoyed each other's company. A lot. A lot.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah. Enjoyed each other's company a lot. And from 2020 when she did double knee surgery in 2020, and from that time until 2022, as taking care of her.
Oh.
And her situation changed, the focus changed from the knees to the breast. By the way, there is this little quirk, if you want to call it, that doctors don't know, that don't understand why cancer is usually in the left breast.
Okay.
Thank you. It's usually in the left breast.
Yeah.
They don't know why.
Oh, but right away, because the left breast is right over the heart in that blood-rich environment.
That's what went through my...
Yeah.
Yes,
But
the heart.
They don't know.
And not just the bloody heart, as sometimes you and
Bloody-
another,
bloody-
but
bloody-
also the heart as the seat of the emotions and what
Yes.
drives.
So that could be their connection. We look
It
at
could
it
be.
in terms of...
Yeah.
Yes.
But scientists still don't know.
They don't know.
We know from a spiritual
Mhm.
basis.
Yes.
There are
Um,
still mysteries.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's so many mysteries.
Yeah.
So there we were not blaming anybody or anything. At first, Andrea thought that it may have had to do with the vaccine, which she wasn't too much of a fan of.
Yeah.
But I think after a while she perished that thought. But she was highly convicted. She believed in God in a strong way and felt that the Lord was ready for her. If this is this calling, she's ready
And
to
she
go.
was ready to go.
She was ready to transition.
Yeah.
She saw that as
Were
a
you-
transition.
Yeah. Were you writing throughout this time, or you had finished your?
The book was finished,
The
but
book
I was
was
still
finished.
writing.
Okay.
I mean,
Yet to be published.
yeah, we still, some of the things were published, because even remember the last time I came here,
Yes.
Andrew was very sick.
Right, remember, yes.
Andrew was very sick.
Yeah.
But we are still writing, and we continued to live.
True.
We continued to discuss what was happening in the world. We watched movies. We did everything as normal.
As best you could.
Yeah, as best we could.
How has Andrea's influence in your life influenced your thought process, your writing, how you have presented your viewpoints to the world?
I think if Andrea was alive, my views and how Andrea influenced me would have been different.
Yes, but now that she's gone.
Now that she's gone, I realized how much she influenced me in every way.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah, man, in every way.
get that.
In every way, because I was telling Lowell earlier on, that there are certain things that you don't deliberately take for granted, you unconsciously take for granted, right?
Yes, it's why we fight against racism and other.
Yeah. And you realize certain things that even the level of confidence that you have a lot to do with who's in your life.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So true.
Absolutely. Yes.
Because this person supports you, and
We have a fan club, we all personal fan club, we cheerleader.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And not only cheerleader is going to do everything to make it successful.
Right.
Facilitate that,
Yeah.
to encourage it.
Things
yeah.
that you didn't even know needed to be done.
Yeah.
And we emphasize here the value of family, because your family is that unconscious presence that makes you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are many things you don't even know that these things need to be done until there's no one doing them.
Yes.
Then you remember, this just used to move along so smoothly.
It used to happen without even thinking about it.
What's missing?
Yeah, you know, that's so true,
Yeah.
because, and even as you reflect on family, I'm the person who does the market stuff and at the supermarket and thing. And I was away for a month, and when I came back, my wife said, "How do you do that?" I said, "Do what?" She says, "What are you talking about?"
I spoke to her while you were away, and one of the first things she said was, "I didn't know he did so many things." Almost annoyed. It's time for the 9:30 break. Let's take our break. When we come back, we'll wrap up with our guests and send you off on your weekend.
No, but
I went market since morning.
yeah, I'm
Hello. Pastor Howard Palmer here, coming to you from New York City this and every Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's right, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. this and every Saturday morning, right here on Bess100 FM. Don't you miss it.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
There will be days when you're too tired to move, to drive, but you think you have to because your vehicle won't wash itself, right? But no, you don't have to visit a car wash. 123 Mobile Car Wash will come straight to you. Yes, you heard right. 123 Mobile Car Wash is offering services in Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine. We shampoo and detail cars, trucks, offices, and more. No job too small. Call us at 876-631-3400. 123 Mobile Car Wash. We come to you.
Vejan Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Vejan Printers, your best choice in printing.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try and call, cause trust me.
Winters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back. We're going into the last round, and I'm saying, I will miss chatting to the professor. I hope he stays for a few minutes after so we can hear some of the unprintable things. Which, as an academic, I remember asking a question last time, and you put it in frame. You says, well, as an academic, I was like, because, like, say now, I was reading earlier, a decision has come out of our constitutional court. A 16-year-old boy given a 2-year sentence for having a knife on his person. And it's not a knife that he was used in any offense. He was being processed having assaulted someone at a party. And this knife was discovered on his person. And the senior family court judge ordered him to be held for 2 years, imposed a custodial sentence on him. The children's advocate with lawyers went to the full court to secure his release, and they were rebuffed on some sounding technical sounding arguments. He wasn't seeking to appeal sentencing. They were arguing that the law as framed didn't permit the judge to treat him as she did, especially because had he been before a court for the offense of possessing a dangerous weapon, it would have been 4 months behind bars or $4,000 fine. I look at that and I say, if I were doing your job of commenting on things as they happen, I said those judges are traumatized from the general state of violence and disorder in the country, youth delinquency, and so on and so forth. And so they have taken a position that this youngster is not to be given any kind of merciful treatment or leniency. And they've hidden behind all of the technicalities of law to say what the judge did should stand. Now, all of that, I put it in that way to say, as you looked at our 21 years, can you see us moving towards that point where almost we become so draconian or so stiff in our imposition of penalties because the trauma, having been wound up over the last 21 years is so great? Have you seen anything that would point to or getting to this place?
Based on what I saw, I didn't feel that way.
Yes.
I really didn't feel that way. I didn't feel like we were getting immune to trauma and or behaving draconian in its response. There was some hope I saw. I recorded it again as at Emancipation Park.
Yes.
And this was like 7 o'clock one evening, and everybody was walking or jogging or whatever. And I think it was the Kiwanis Club that had an event, and they started to play the national anthem. And everybody stopped.
Everybody stopped.
Were you there?
No, but it's something that I'm seeing now in a lot of places. Everybody.
So there's a rise in, is it nationalism, patriotism, respect? How do you see it? Because sometimes nationalist sentiment goes towards fascism. How do you read it? I know you said hope, but
it didn't look fascist to me. It looked like it was out of respect and
honor,
and I think it's several things that is contributing to it, including our athletes and our
yes.
I think that has something to do with it. I think that there was a time in which we were teaching in school a lot more about what was happening in the US, although it's still creeping in.
Than what's happening here.
That's what's happening here. You see now that we are taking far more pride in who
we are and what we are doing.
Yes. A friend of mine who has not been here for a while, when she came, she said, but Patwa now in an ad.
Yes,
we see it all the time.
On TV. We're now proud of our natural expression.
Proud of it, as opposed to a point
that's a great
time
thing.
in which we thought that, this is not proper.
And even some of the big companies, they are featuring people like us, people of color. One time it was brown. I'm seeing that. So
and we're doing noble things now. We're not just cleaning the toilet or doing diarrhea.
No man,
treatment
you're buying your house, you're doing
or
your
fast
thing.
food. We're buying houses
which means some of the time I have to put her on a leash.
Don't say that, Percy. You will bring out the wrath of the beehive. Just say you put Lowell. He said he put your wife on a leash. Please let him know you're the only one who could do that. Playfully. No, but we went through the same cycle of seeing ourselves represented on media as the housekeeper, the gardener, the one doing the diarrhea treatment ads or Pepto-Bismol or fine dining is fast food. To see ourselves represented in a more realistic tone or in a more uplifted tone is a great thing. But now the last question that I'm pushing to see if I will get a current day commentary. other than an academic discourse.
Okay.
I'm pushing. We see 30-year minimum sentence, 15 years for having a weapon. We see what looks like militarizing of the police force, and there's a certain stridency to how central government is organizing itself in relation to the people. Can you make any connection between what's happening today and what you have seen watching over the years, over the 21 years?
So I had to mention about this, right?
Yes, you mentioned, right?
Yes.
That was
so Dudos is like Massop, or akin to that?
Okay.
Massop is from the next century?
No, Massop is from the 70s or the 80s.
Yes.
But not in the first, so not the other century then?
Yeah.
It's
not
true.
The first 21.
Yes, yeah. So again, we come back to this cycle.
That's why yes.
We come back to this cycle, and we also looked at corruption, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's her name from? I don't remember her name.
One of the advocates against corruption, Narcisse. No, the lady from Jam. Forget her name.
Jamaican for Justice.
No, not Jamaican for Justice. Jamaica something another meter.
Yes, from Jam.
Just Jam.
Portability meter. Yes, yeah.
I'm seeing her name. Yeah.
If I look in my thing, I'll find her for you. All right, carry on while I hunt.
Yeah, but she had done a presentation, and I made mention of it, which she looked at the newspapers in the 60s and 70s, and then looked at the newspapers now.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
So that's in your book?
Yes.
Okay. That is on me have to get this a book, yeah.
Calder.
Yeah.
And
it's the same thing, but it's at a what? It's at a deeper level. It's more in the DNA now. Is that what she came to? What was her?
She was making the point that
not much has changed.
Oh yeah, I understand that. I understand that because we have been missing school from the 60s.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, we only have a few minutes and then I want Professor's answer to my question.
He's commented.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. I believe in Jamaicans as a people that, again, there are certain things that we are not going to have happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a major thing.
So we don't need to be overwhelmed by certain things being pushed to the brink. We have the ability to pull back.
I think so.
And that's in, and I think that is something in our DNA. And I think, I don't know if that comes out of your Christian conviction as somebody who always believes.
You mean his hopefulness?
Hopefulness. I was thinking about that, but you're just saying from an academic perspective, just based on the data and the trends, you believe in that we're going to pull ourselves back from the brink, from the precipice that we seem to be going down. Oh, I love that.
We will neither jump nor be pushed.
By that.
All right.
And so, again, the book, about the book launch this evening, just give us some details again.
Again, it's this evening at 5 o'clock, University of Technology, Jamaica Lecture Theatre 50. When you get on campus, the guard will direct you as to where Lecture Theatre 50 is. There will be other persons there to greet you and seat you, and we'll have a nice 1 hour or so. Yes.
Well, I look forward to seeing you later, Professor.
Yes.
And just to put a small matter to rest, please tell Pastor Percival how long squash facilities have been at Minett.
Over 20 years.
Okay. But you see what I have 20 years. With university, long time.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Professor. Please linger for a few moments with us. We're going to wrap up the show now. It is that time of the morning, isn't it? If the producer nods, I'm waiting for this is like, when the emperor gives you a thumbs up or a thumbs down. We're waiting on the producer to tell us.
Oh my
Don't make any jokes
God.
about the emperor's clothing.
Oh, but we heard it on the emperor's without clothes. And people have been alluding to that in terms of what's presently happening in a political concept. We never asked him about what happened on Sunday. But
Well, no man, you can. Oh well, yeah, close the book
was
already. But in the new notebook
Notebook.
that you started, the conference recently concluded conference. What notes did you take?
I wasn't paying much attention to it, you know.
Nor was I, but
I wasn't paying much attention to it. That which I saw, though, is the same thing in which the political parties help to perpetuate the lawlessness in the country, and then say they're lawlessness.
so when they're government, they say a different thing. When they're party. I loved it how one man was very schizophrenic in saying, we will discuss it internally as a party, and then we'll approach government. It's hilarious. We're going to approach government and see if government will do anything, but we will discuss it first as a party.
You were talking about
The chairman
the
of
visa,
the
visa
thing.
that-
How likely is that, would you say? Given all you have seen, 21 years of note-taking, can Jamaicans enter the UK, the US, and Canada without a visa? You see us getting there?
US, UK, and where?
Canada.
Yeah, US, UK, Canada.
It is going to depend on what their immigration system is like. Britain is a fairly homogeneous country. They're 80% white.
I thought it was more. I thought they were becoming brown like the rest of Europe.
Oh no.
No, Europe is moving faster.
Yeah, you're looking at London.
Okay.
If you look at London they represent.
Okay, that's important.
Right. Yeah. Like how New York don't represent, to the horror of Americans, New York and California don't represent America.
Yes.
They would never be Trump. Trump's existence tells you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what you see happening in Europe, in which a lot of the countries are moving to the right, suggests that they are going to want to tame America. Hungary. I visited Hungary and didn't know that they were like that. And Poland, for instance, these are two countries that has made it clear that they do not want people of color.
Okay.
They do not want people of color, and they
I'm
in
gonna do that
the
again.
United Arab Emirates, that is perhaps a world class.
Qatar is Qatar is 2.something million people, and about 400,000 people are Qataris.
Only what?
About 400,000 people are Qataris.
Yes.
The rest are immigrants.
The rest are immigrants.
Oh wow.
And the immigrants, they do not have a visa or anything like that, and they cannot become Qataris.
Not at all.
Right? It's not possible for you to become Qatari.
That door is closed.
Yeah.
400 people are not opening it up. But you see, but the oil wealth and what has driven that mostly is the economics of it.
Yes.
Because the oil wealth is distributed based on your nationality, and that money not going outside of the tribe.
And I want to switch to another.
There's a question online which I want you to answer. Will your event be recorded for transmission?
It will be streamed live.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can go to UTEC's YouTube channel and you'll be able to.
And you'll find it. Oh,
yes.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
So yes, Mr. Pottinger, you'll be able to see us getting our autographed copy of the book.
Yes.
And if there's pole dancing, you'll definitely see it.
For sure.
For sure.
I'm hoping that will encourage you to come.
You're watching his children dance.
You were making a point.
Another point that I make. Countries have policies, right? And they don't tell you that this is what the policy is, but they execute it.
Yes.
Right? Israel wants to get rid of Palestinians, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a long-term project.
Yes,
Which eventually this is
that's
what
not
we
a
want,
policy,
right?
that's a mission.
It's a mission. That's cool, right? It's a mission. The mission of Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the US, and the rest of them were to get rid of the indigenous people.
Yes, we mentioned that at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And when you see what the Australians have done with
Aboriginal.
the Aborigines,
Yes.
it is so sad.
Unspeakable.
It is so sad.
And you have West Papua New Guinea crying for freedom. Same
Indonesia.
thing. Yes, with Indonesia,
It's
who used to
so
be a
sad.
colony,
Yeah.
now putting the boots on the necks of others.
But these things do not come out in the media, in the Western media.
In the Western media.
And therefore it doesn't come out in the media.
Don't exist.
Yeah.
Wow. I wanted us to end on a very cheerful note. So perhaps we'll just say pole dancing at UTech at 5 this evening. Join us there. And have a great weekend, everyone.
Is that the persons who are listening in from the United States, happy Thanksgiving to you.
And yes,
we're gonna say that. No,
happy
but you want my
Thanksgiving.
wife to tell me that you do not go back to that program because this lady is promoting pole dancing.
It's what I mean. It's a very good exercise. You try it and see.
Hallelujah.
And just remember too, if you want a Thanksgiving feast in Jamaica, the place to do it is at JD's Urban Pub at the Ligani Club, where we're gonna have to divide
wonderful
ourselves.
feast.
So many things taking place this evening, but it's the weekend for us. The Morning Connection close the doors on Thursday, so have a blessed weekend, everyone. See you next week. Thanks, Lloyd, back at studio. Mr. Engineer, man of all seasons at the club for us. Thank you also, Pastor Percival, and to our honored guest, Professor Paul Golding. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It has been a pleasure.
Delightful.
Yes.
Now they say walk with a no bucket too, because this is our weekend.
Yes.
Sign off. See you on Monday.
See you on Monday.
Yeah, this has been a pleasure.
Thank you.